All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. This is AJ. AJ's Political Views, where we connect people in politics and make political speech easy to understand. I'm running late this morning, but I was able to make it. Had a good meeting on last night, and here I am. How bad do you want change? A lot of people complain about it. They talk about the state of the union and all the problems that we're having. But how bad do you want change? Do you think that change is only come through politicians and politics? I don't think so. It's going to take you and I to make some changes in our lives, and also it's going to take you and I to come together to create that change. How bad do you want it? That's my question to you. Are you a complainer or a fixer? Are you prepared to fix it or just complain about it? Just a question. I'll be right back. All right. Let me give a few shout outs. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Oral. Good morning, DI. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, John. Good morning, Miranda. Good morning, Donna. Good morning, everybody decided to come on this side of town to take part in this conversation with AJ's Political Views. I want to thank each and every one of you for deciding to come over here this early morning and have a conversation with me about life, politics, and stuff like that. Connecting the dots. Creating solutions. We need to do better than what we're doing, people. Everybody's complaining, but nobody's doing nothing. And they're still talking about an election that has passed, and nobody's doing nothing. The question is, how bad do you want change? How bad do you want it? Are you really going to sit back and complain and let the politicians bring about a change when we need to be doing something? I hope not. Because if you're waiting on them to move on your behalf, you may find yourself in more trouble than what you are in right now. Now, don't get it twisted. I do believe that there are some good politicians out there that's working on the behalf of the people, no doubt about it. But we know who the majority is right now. It's, in the area of power. We got an administration that's going to be taking office pretty soon, and everybody's still complaining and doing absolutely nothing. There's a saying that I always say, too busy doing nothing. The question is, what are you going to do about it if you're doing nothing? How can you combat that? What is the solution? Are you preparing? Are you getting ready for the possibility of bad things happening? Are you preparing yourself for the prices that may go up in the grocery store? What's your budget? Where's your money? Are you saving? Are you meeting with various support groups that can help you through various things mentally and emotionally? What are you doing about the situation that may or may not come to pass? Everything is uncertain right now. We don't know what the future holds. But we do know that every day that we have an opportunity to get up out of our bed and live is another opportunity to fix the problems rather than complain about the problems. How do you feel about unity, coming together? How do you feel about organizing? What's your thoughts on marching? What's your thoughts on signing petitions? What's your thoughts on moving forward and trying to come up with creative ideals to bring about a change, not only in your life, but in somebody else's life as well? Should it be a group thing, my thing, your sister thing, your brother thing, or should it be a unified effort to bring about change? What are we really doing out here besides complaining about who won the election and why they won and what this person is going to do? We've been talking about this for this man been around almost 9 years. He's been around preaching the same doctrine over and over and over again about what he's going to do to the people, how the changes that he's going to make, the folks he's going to lock up. We've been hearing this forever. Cut this, cut that, cut everything. And now people are panicking, scared, afraid, but not doing nothing. If you don't do nothing, you don't get nothing. Sitting back and complaining about the situation and still having arguments with people that voted for this guy doesn't get you anywhere. Yeah, you might get a few nickels, dimes, and quarters on the side, but you get barely enough to pay your rent. You feel me? But listen, this is up for debate. This is good conversation. How bad do you want change? Because listen, it's going to come a time in America where the people are either going to sleep or they're going to wake up. Or are they going to be caught off guard? Look around and suddenly a change hits you so hard you don't even know what to do because you've been sleeping on the job. We need to wake up, people. And we need to figure out, do we really want change? Because we, the people, can only bring about that change. We can't depend on a government entity or politicians who have let us down to bring about that change. Only we, the people, can bring about that change. But we got to do something. Do something. I just met on last night with a plan to do something. And I noticed a lot of times people blow trumpets loud, but what they're going to do, I got this plan, I'm going to do this, oh, I got this, I'm going to do this, we're going to do that. They just talk. But when you get through talking, you find out they go home and go to sleep. Talking gets us nowhere, okay? If we have a conversation about fixing a problem, organizing, that is what gets you somewhere. Having conversations for years gets you nowhere. Especially when you start talking about the Black community. We know what talking is alike because we do a whole lot of talking about the problems, but we never come up a desire to unite, to come up with solutions to fix it. So that's why we keep getting what we're getting, because we keep doing what we're doing. And I know, I get it, I understand it. A lot of that has to do with fear. It has to do with trust. It has to do with taking things seriously. It has to do with a combination of things, the reason why people fail to unite and come together on it. But we got to get past that now. We got to get past the trust issues and the fear issues. We have to figure out, how do we trust one another? How do we get past of being afraid that somebody's going to come along and tear it up or take it or corrupt it? How do we get past that in order to move some mountains out here? Yeah, we can have conversations about creating ideals and producing resources or sharing resources to other people throughout this country that may be suffering this way or that way. There is ways we can get past the madness, everybody. Good morning to you, Wanda. How you doing?
Okay, I'm good. I was just gonna drop in quickly before my church. I just wanted to, because I saw your message. I just wanted to explain the information that I sent about the benefits for Social Security for
Yes.
those are for people that receive pensions. That's mostly public employees, either federal or state. And what they were planning is to reduce Social Security benefits due to the fact that we receive pensions. So on Monday, um, they should be voting on this issue. Chuck Schumer introduced a bill to stop this. And of course, like a part of the member of the union, we are hoping that on Monday, December 16, this is put in place to protect public employees, or either unions that are receiving pensions. And that's
Okay.
the bill, because they're going after, what they want to do is to reduce the amount of the Social Security that we receive, due to the
Hmm.
fact that we receive a pension that we actually put money in, and it's been managed by the state.
Got you.
So that was my to make
Wait,
everybody aware of this, is what is going on.
now, has this already passed the House and it's in the Senate now?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right, all right. Well, I definitely thank you for bringing that to the table. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, because this affects the entire country. Any employees, it could be the post office employees to any government employees or anyone that is receiving us only than the government, but anybody that's receiving a pension
Yeah.
will be affected if this doesn't pass.
Okay. All right. Well, let's hope for the best. Let's hope that it happens in a way that it benefits the people such as yourself and other government workers. And I do thank you for bringing that up to the table. Okay.
Okay, thank you for allowing me to share.
No problem, my sister. You have a good service today. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
All right, everybody. Okay, before I move forward, I do have Mike and Roberto. Y'all know Roberto is my sidekick. He comes up here. I do have Mike. Mike, give me 1 second. Let me read my disclaimer and then we're going to get started, okay? All right. The assessment of any individual or policy, including the persons mentioned here, is not based on knowledge from a personal interaction with any one person, but is only offered here as thoughts and opinions, primarily based on things read and seen that may be of news media, tabloids, blogs, rumors, conspiracy theories, and other platforms where conversations and speeches are held, which means that all is seen as untrue until proven otherwise. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I am your host, AJ, and this is AJ's Political Views, where we connect people with life and politics, making political speech easy to understand, giving that old school radio talk show type of vibe with a little podcast on the side. I do want to welcome everybody. My first guest. Mike, let me speak to my sidekick here, Roberto, who has come up and a part of the show. Good morning, Roberto. How you doing?
Hi, AJ. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Another day, another day. I was running a little late today. That meeting held a little bit longer than I would like, but it was a great meeting, and I am here this morning. Just running a little late, but I made it, man. Glad to see you up here with me as always. I give you thanks.
Well, that's okay. Everybody's just getting moving around, so it didn't hurt nothing.
Yeah, I believe that. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Well, thank you
Yep.
so much, my brother. Hey, listen, Roberto, we got a guest. We got Mike up here who has joined us. Good morning, Mike. How you doing?
Good morning. Great. I don't know if you remember me. I talked to you a while back, right after the election. A little crazy, but I think you talked me off the ledge.
I don't.
I don't know if you remember, but
I talk to so many people I don't remember.
yeah,
But
you don't. Yeah, I kind of came out. I'm more of I'm a pretty far left. It's not that.
oh, okay, I remember.
Yeah, I'm pretty far left. But I've been following you pretty much ever since then. I just want to thank you. You're a real inspiration for me.
Oh man, thank you so much, Mike. Thank you for those kind words and encouraging words, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm trying to be the change, just how you've been talking about. I've actually been able to go live now. I have an agent and stuff, so
Oh, you're live? That's great. What's the name of your? What do you do on your live?
I'm trying to do the same kind of thing you're doing here.
Okay.
Yeah, just be the change within and stop fighting with fighting with the Trumpers and all that. I'm just done with that. I just want solutions, right?
Yeah. I think we need more people out here doing that. As long as this app is here and we have this opportunity with our lives and things like that. Hey, listen. That's why I'm talking about how bad do you want change, and people are
Yeah,
still stuck, and it's not getting you anywhere to stay stuck.
you're
So
right.
So I appreciate you out here doing your own thing and putting together something that kind of follow, this pattern of what I do over here. That says a lot, and I appreciate that, man. Because hey, listen, I can't do it all by myself, right?
Yep.
Need
It
a little
takes a
help.
village, right?
Hey, you said it. You said it, my brother. You said it. It takes a village. It takes a village to bring about change. And the question is, how many people really truly want change to happen? Or do they just like complaining? You know what I mean? Complain. I'm over it. I'm
Yeah, I'm
so
over that too.
I'm so over. But thank you so much, Mike. Is there any other things you want to add to the topic of conversation, on what you've heard and what you think we need to do moving forward?
Well, yeah, I've really gone grassroots. I'm going more to my local politicians and looking into things. Where are they getting their money? Right? Where there's apps out there where you can go see, who's paying who. Right? What bills are they putting for? How are they voting? Go out and be informed and either bolster those that are doing the right things or vote against the ones that aren't. Right? So that's all there is. Be informed. You have to be an active participant in your community, right? That's the way it
Yes,
works.
yes, yes, yes. And I think, and that's good that you put that out there, because I think if more of us do that, we are making them aware that we see you. We
Yep.
see you. We know what you're doing. We know what you're supporting. We see you. So I thank you, Mike, for doing it. And I wish that more of us would do that so we can begin to move forward and heal this country. This country is so divided, and we're
Yep.
not going to be able to move forward until we unite. Listen, there's so many ways we can fix our own communities, and we can make things better if we organize. We are living in a time where organization is necessary. It's about who you want to support, who you don't want to support. All that doesn't matter. What matters is, what are you seeking to do to bring about that change that we need? Because that's what voting was about, right? Some
Yep.
folks voted for change and some folks didn't, right? Some
Yeah.
folks decided, I'm okay with this guy. Yeah, he served 4 years and he didn't do a great job, but I'm okay with him anyway. I'm gonna
Yeah.
vote for him anyway. And then some folks decided, I'm just going to stay home because I don't like neither one of them. Right. And then some of
Yes.
us, we voted with the expectation that somebody was going to win, and we got disappointed because they didn't win. See, a lot of folks, the reason why you're going through so much anxiety, pain, okay, and stress, because you were so sure that because who he was, that she was going to win because who she was.
Yep.
And politics doesn't always work that way, especially when you got propaganda, misinformation, and a whole lot of money put into elections, especially when you start talking about the power of corporations and what they're able to do. So that's how we
Yeah.
got to
I'm
where
with
we
you.
are.
Let's end Citizens United. I'm behind you. Keep reaching out. I'll keep in touch with you, brother.
All right, Mike, keep doing what you're doing, okay? I'm going to
All
try to
right.
come over there and check you out, all right?
All right. Thanks, man.
All right, my brother. Roberto, what are your thoughts on that, man? You think we need to do something if we want change, man? Or we just sit back and complain?
Well, we need to do something. What that something is up for debate.
Well, it's up for debate if you don't gather with other folks that already got a plan, right? You get with the right people with a plan, you can get something done.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, what is the most appropriate course of action we have to determine?
First of all, we got the first thing I think, Roberto, is that we got to bridge the gap of division. We got to figure out how to come together as a people so we can see the same things. Right now, everybody's seeing things differently. It's us, them, those persons over there. It's all about them. It's them and us, right? And so we got to figure out how we can get past this them and us. Okay? Time to rebuild the village. That's it, Zay. Thank you. We gotta figure out a way how to unite this country and unite. Now listen, everybody's not gonna go along with the ride, because as I often say, haters are haters. It doesn't matter what you do, it's not gonna stop those folks from hating, because that's their character, that's their personality, that's who they are. Some people are haters at the core. You can't reach a hater. I'm talking about those people that got an open mind for change and they want to see something different. I'm talking about those individuals. I'm not talking about haters. We got hate groups that got power right now. Some of those folks are okay with the way things going because they hate somebody else. And so they say, oh, they're going against my enemies, or they going against the African American community because I don't like black. And since I don't like black, I'm glad that somebody else don't like black. And that's what I want. I want somebody that don't like black.
I think there's a lot of people like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, we got to be able to identify certain type of people that voted for him. There is a group of individuals, probably in the millions, people that voted for him because they believed that he had a problem with minority groups, and with his rhetoric and the way he talked, and his history is proven to be factual. So, Roberto, we got Miranda. Good morning, Miranda.
Hey, Miranda. I mean, I said, hey, Miranda. Hey, Roberto. Hey, AJ. Did you tell I didn't have coffee yet? Hi, guys.
Yeah. I got my cup of coffee. I'm running a little late today, but I made it. What's
How
on your
y'all
mind?
doing?
We're doing good. Thank you for asking.
Um, I think I think it goes back to what you said, AJ, with the division. It's one thing for people to say they want to change. Now, I'm a YT woman. This is just speaking for me and the community I come from. YT people, and I put it in the chat. There's a difference between being an ally and a freedom rider. You have to have actions. You know what I'm saying? You have to act. So for like example, yesterday I was in a live, right? And a friend of mine was on panel, and I forgot what the topic of the live was. She was speaking, my friend, a black woman,
Yeah.
speaking. There was another white woman in the chat, um, telling her in the chat she had a victim mentality. So I started correcting that woman in a chat. In the chat, I said, as a fellow white woman to white woman, please don't say that to a black woman. Please don't ever say something like that to the black community. I'm going to educate you as a fellow white person. And she was getting very, very upset with me. I felt the vitriol through the comments. So then the moderator blocked her. But here I am. To me, I'm not going to be silent. You know what I mean?
Right.
When I say that's also my personal friend, but that's my opportunity to speak up. That's how bad I want the change. I'm white. I'm going to tell a fellow white person, hey, don't do that to someone in the black community, because not only that, my friend, you also need to educate what it is to tell someone the victim mentality. That's a form of silencing.
Mm-hmm.
That's also when you tell someone they're playing the race card, because that same person said that as well in the chat. And then that person proceeded to make two different comments and make this two different accounts after they got blocked, AJ.
What?
Right. So then you know what I did? I said, oh, hell, HE double hockey sticks, no. I went up on panel where my friend was speaking. And I went on panel and I asked the moderator if I could speak. I'm sorry, I don't want to take the discourse and everything away from your live, but there's a friend of mine on panel. May I just say something? And I said to whoever's in the chat, I just want to address this. I don't mean to disrespect the creators live, but if you're going to type in the chat and make multiple accounts, please don't ever call someone in the black community tell them they have a victim mentality, or that they're playing the race card. And I'm saying this as a fellow white person, as a white woman to a white woman. I said, you need to do better, and you need to think about how you move and act in this world. And I said, I hope you do better and you look within and what made you think you needed to make that comment to her. And I said, and I know the moderator blocked you, and I apologized to the creator. And she said it was fine. I said, I just wanted to say that because I don't want to see my friend and also a black woman be harassed that way. And that was how I wanted changed. That's how I felt I could speak up. And
Yeah. That was very much needed. You showed up on time. You wasn't too late. Okay. You showed up on time. You didn't hesitate. You said what needed to be said. And once you identify a hater, you let them hate. Keep them moving. Say what you got to say to them and keep it going in that way. Because one thing we have to understand when it comes to this election and what just happened, there are people out here that are in this community that have a people, and they've already drafted up their statements. They've already been drafted up, and it's a universal, okay? It's a universal ideal to spread the type of things that you're just mentioning. They all do it, and they do it to insult, to disrespect, for the purpose of trying to prove their narrative is that they are superior and that they are better than everybody else. So that's why they do that, because they already think in their minds that I'm better than you. And this is why I'm better than you. You see what I'm saying? And once you come across that person, you did exactly what you were supposed to do as a freedom rider, Miranda, which that's who you are. You did exactly what needed to be done.
And that's what I'm going to continue to do, because you don't do that. And that person was up there, and whatever strength and beauty was in that person, that intimidated your soul. So you wanted to silence them. And
That's
that
exactly
speaks
what
about your own issues within, your own demons.
Right. That's the key right there. People got to realize that a lot of things that people do got absolutely nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
It has to do with that individual. But we got to figure out we got to figure out as Americans, because we do know that when some folks mention Americans, they're not talking about everybody.
Yeah.
And those individuals that got that attitude, you know, debating with somebody like that is not even worth your time of day. It's better to keep it moving, because if they already feel like that they are the superior in this country and they are the only ones that should have rights, and any benefits that the government offers should only come to them, then you know those individuals, you got to let them fly that kite, which leads them to nowhere.
Yeah. I guess I just, in my mind, anytime I see an opportunity, that's how bad I want it. I want the change. I just want to act however I can.
Well, people know when you're real or when you're fake, right? You've been a part of this live for quite some time, and I can pretty much identify when somebody's real and when they fake. And one thing I can say, Miranda, you're not fake. You're real, and I appreciate your realness.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, because you know the fact about it is you can't speak about one group if you're not willing to speak about the other group. If you know, call a spade, call it what it is. I don't care if it's blue, purple, yellow, green. Call it what it is.
Yeah.
Black person, you know, say something inappropriate or do something inappropriate. Check them. If why
Yeah.
It doesn't matter about the race of individuals. It's about character and personality and who they
Spade is
are
spade.
as a human being. We got to start there.
Yeah.
Before we can start about what color somebody's skin is, let's first talk about the personality and the character of a person,
Yeah.
because that matters more than anything in the whole wide world. But see, we get stuck on racism.
Yeah.
And I tell people quite often, never become what you hate. But that doesn't mean that you can't check people when they step over certain boundaries or cross certain lines. That doesn't mean they can't be checked.
I was agreeing, and I love the prompt because we need change. We do, man. And everybody wants it, but it's just, is it words versus actions in general? That's the thing.
Well, see, that's the key. The question is, how bad do you want it? You might want it, but you don't want it bad enough, because if you wanted it bad enough, you'll be willing to do something about it.
Yeah, the action.
Action. You'll be willing to get with somebody else that's trying to do something about it. I talk about change and organizing and come together all the time. I do it all the time. And so even I realized that just talking about it is not going to get anything done. So I stepped outside of this AJ's political views and say, okay, what else can I do outside of AJ's political views? That's what I started thinking. And I did that because what I was hearing by individuals that came up on my panel and took part in the conversation. And everybody was just so concerned and, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that, and we need to bring about change, and we need to do that. And so sometimes the people that speak the loudest are the ones that are most quiet. In other words, they don't do nothing, they just talk. Say things because it sounds good. But when it comes down to really putting the grind to the work and really doing something, you can't find them nowhere. And that's okay. But what it shows to me is that you're not who you say you are. That your words don't mean anything. Your words are empty because there is no action behind what you say. See, the one that speaks the loudest, I would hope that they would move into action and they would do the things that are necessary to do. But in other words, they would just prefer to complain and point fingers. Enough of talking about Trump, you know. People continually talking about this guy or what he's going to do. If you don't know what he's going to do by now, I don't even know what to say to you. If you don't know the kind of guy that just won this White House right now, that's going to be already forming his administration, if you don't know him by now, you're definitely disconnected from reality. Okay? And you need something to complain about and to argue about and to fuss about, because that makes you feel better because you know you're not going to do nothing. But we as a people, the only way we really going to get true change is that, first of all, we got to figure out a way to get past division, and we got to unite. And if that means independently uniting in various types of organizations and groups, to bring about a change in this country and to prepare for the worst, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst, that means you got to do something. It's okay to gather every Sunday and worship. It's okay to read your scripture. It's okay to believe in your deity and your God. All of that is okay because the Constitution have given you that right to do so. But when you get up off your knees from praying, what is your expectation? What are you looking for? What are you wanting to happen in your life, in your community? What do you want the politicians to do? What is your expectations for them? Do you know who they are? Do you know their name? Do you know which policies they support or the policies that they don't support? Do you think things are going to get better? Or do you think things are going to get worse? These are questions that you yourself individually going to have to answer. And if you can't answer any of those questions, that's because you're talking too much. You're talking and not listening. Listening but not talking. It's imperative and it is important for those in this country to wake up. Listen, I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. If you believe that an individual is a God or a Messiah or a Savior, that means you're going to believe everything that that person says because you believe that they were ordained by some great and wonderful deity. And that's why some folks were unable to hear the truth because they saw him as a God and a deity. Then some folks support him because they got hate in their hearts. It's hard for people with hate to hear the truth because they got hate in their hearts. Then some folks chose him because they're greedy. They got a business. They want more money. They want to make more profit. It's about bonuses. There are many different types of people that voted for this guy. And you got to be able to identify the different types of people that voted for him. You had one area of greed, one area of racism, one area of an occult as it relates to looking at him as a God and a savior. And so it is very difficult to get into the minds of people that feel and think that way. We kept blowing the trumpet, but they couldn't hear it. They couldn't hear the trumpet, just like some, they can't even hear it now because they still believe that he is a savior. They still believe that he's going to put more money in their pockets. They still believe that he's going to eventually bring the grocery prices down. They still believe he's going to fix the economy. They still believe these things. When they realize that their money is getting lesser and lesser and lesser. But you know what some of them will go as far to do? Prepare yourselves for this. They will start saying that he's living in Biden's economy. Look out for that one now. They're going to change the conversation every time. People that are stuck on Trump are going to forever have an excuse to why they support him. No matter what happens, no matter what you say. Because after 2 years, they can't say it's Biden economy. They're going to have to take it that it's Trump economy, and they're going to have to start telling the truth or they're just going to disappear altogether. Because most of them just going to go silent. They're not going to say anything. They would rather go silent than to have a conversation with you about the truth. Let's look at the stock market since Biden has been president. There have been more gains than ever in history since Biden been president of the United States in the area of the stock market. Okay? The jobs numbers have increased more times, okay, or equal to other presidents that have good job reports. Check it out. But see, they're not going to check out the facts. They're not going to read from the facts. They're just going to embrace the lie. Look at the numbers and you'll find that the economy is not as bad as people think it is. But it's going to get bad because then you're going to start living under Trump's economy. Because he's going to start making changes to what Biden has done. When Trump got into office, every progress that Obama had made in the area of policy and laws to fix the problem in this country What did Trump do? He took away everything that Obama had did. Everything. And he's going to do the same thing with Biden. Anything that Biden has passed and implemented, he's going to get rid of it. He's always done that. So if he get rid of it, it's no longer Biden's because he's cut everything that Biden has done. He's gotten rid of all of Biden legislative laws. He's gotten rid of it. So if he get rid of it, then whose fault is it then? Good morning to you.
Ty Jones, good morning to you, man.
Ty Jones, good morning to you. Yes, sir. Yeah, welcome to AJ's Political Views. This your first time here?
Yeah, it's my first time here. I'm from Tennessee, 46-year-old Black American. I voted for Donald J. Trump.
Okay. All right. So what else do you have to say as regards to how bad do we want change?
I mean, I think we won't change real bad. This last administration
Well,
hasn't
no,
been
let's talk
hasn't
about the
been great.
administration. No, sir. You're not going to do that here. Let's talk about the administration that's about to take office. What
Okay,
is your
okay.
what are your expectations? What do you want them to do?
I would like to see we get a total of free speech. Tired of all the censoring and
Okay,
uh,
free speech has nothing to do with food on your table, sir. What let's talk about the stuff that matters the most. Free speech, we got free speech now because we're talking
okay.
on
Tell me
this
what
chat.
tell me what you want to talk about.
Well, okay, let me say this. You have free speech now because if you didn't have free speech, you wouldn't be on TikTok talking. We wouldn't have this opportunity because the government said if we didn't have free speech, they can strip this conversation right now. They can block it. So you have that opportunity right now to speak freely. All right. So let's focus on the things that matters the most, like grocery, because I am sure that there were some concerns that you had about grocery. I am sure there are concerns you had about the gas prices. I'm sure that you're concerned about the border and all those things that represented the guy that you voted for. So what are your expectations now that he has the White House, now that he has his administration, he's going to be taking office? Let's talk about your guy, the guy that you voted for. So what are your expectations for your guy?
My expectations for Donald Trump is that I want him to continue through what he said that he was going to do as far as the platinum plan and opportunity
Okay, so do you know what the platinum plan is,
zones.
sir? Do you know what the platinum plan is?
From what I've heard, is to help poverty communities.
No. Do you know how it works?
No, tell me how it works.
So you don't know how the platinum plan works, but you came up on the table and mentioned it, and you don't even know how it works?
I mean, I was trying to give you of what I know about it, but you talking about do I know how it works? You stopped me, so
Tell me how it works. I'm asking you. You brought it up. You mentioned it. So tell me how the platinum plan works. That's what I'm asking you.
right.
How does it work?
So it's to help communities, the poverty communities that's
How? How?
by placing resources into the community to better the community.
How? There's a way it works. There's a way how the plan works.
Programs, it's a lot of different things.
Okay, sir,
Housing.
you don't know how it works. Let me tell you how it works, sir. Okay? Let
Break
me
it
tell you
down
how
to
it
me.
works. Because let me share something else with you. This platinum plan has been floating around since its first running for office.
Correct.
And it gives tax breaks to corporations. Did you know that?
No.
Okay, so it gives tax breaks to corporations. The way it's supposed to work is that companies supposed to go in and buy land or property, and they're supposed to either rebuild those properties or when they buy the land or whatever they build affordable. They're supposed to build affordable housing. It's supposed to be a percentage that they offer to communities of poverty. It's supposed to be a percentage, but that gives them tax breaks when they do that. The more property they buy in poverty communities, the more tax breaks they get. So nothing is guaranteed that they're going to rent those units or housing to people that are poor within the community. You know why? Because the rent is never at the level that it needs to be. In other words, they do that, but the rent is so high that people cannot afford it. So they do it only to get a tax break, sir. That's how it works. It's to benefit corporations, not the communities of poverty. That just is hidden mirrors. Okay, they're saying they're doing something that they are not. All right. Sometimes they buy land or rent, get a building, they just let it set and write it off as a loss. That's what they do. I'm simplifying it. I could go a little bit whole deeper, but I'm just trying to simplify. It's just a corporation that either got land in a place of poverty, or they go in there and buy land of a community of poverty, and they're supposed to build within that community and create affordable housing. They're supposed to have a percentage of affordable housing within that community. But the way it's been done here lately is that they've been getting big tax breaks, but there are no affordable housing. You just got new apartment units and houses all through the community, but it's too expensive for people to buy it or even rent it in that case. So that's what that's about. So, sir, before you talk about something like a platinum plan, and you please research and know what you're defending, know what you're talking about when you bringing something to the table like that, because you decided to vote for this guy, vote for him on this idea of a platinum plan with just saying, oh, it's supposed to help folks and research, but you didn't even know how it worked. You didn't know how it worked. So we're going to get past that. So you now you understand how it works?
Yes, you broke it down to me, and I hope that it works out for the best for the people in the community.
It hasn't. It didn't, sir. That's why you're still talking about it. Because if it had, you wouldn't be talking about it, right? Because it'd be doing its job. The only reason why you brought it up is because
he's not in office yet. So how's it?
Sir, he's been in office. He's been talking about that since the first 4 years. You forgot did you forget he was president before?
Yeah, but he didn't get to go through it like he
Why?
wanted to.
Why?
He
Why?
didn't get the second term.
Why? Well, sir, he didn't need a second term to do that. He could have did that in the first term. Just like he could have built the wall. But anyway, we're not going to go down that road. Hold on, sir. I'm going to come back to you. Thank you, Ty Jones. Let me go to Billy. Welcome, Billy. Welcome to AJ's Political Views.
How y'all doing this morning?
Doing good. Thank you for asking. What's on
All
your
right.
mind?
All right. I'm gonna pick it back a little bit here off of what you were saying. And also, Donald Trump lifted the restriction for on home ownership on buying properties, and that means that he allowed for corporations to come in and buy up these homes, thus shooting the prices of the homes in Atlanta, Georgia, right now. And they're just boxes. The average home is going to cost you close to $1 million. These apartments, these bedroom apartments is going to cost you $2,000 plus. I gotta go. I got a really important phone call. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta drop. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Got
go
an
ahead. That's
important
fine. That's fine. We got you. We got Ty Jones here who has joined us. We got Billy. They got an important call. We have Miranda and we have Roberto. All right, Ty Jones, I'm going to come back to you briefly. I'm going to give you an opportunity to finish your thoughts. Our focus right now is the guy that you voted for, because I know that a lot of people still want to talk about him, and that's fine. But there's certain things I'm not going to talk about as it relates to him. I'm not going to go back and debate with you about why you voted for who you voted for. You made that decision. But I do want to talk about the expectations that you may have for this particular guy. One that you mentioned the platinum plan. I already dealt with that, so we're gonna let that we're gonna put that to the side. What else? What other expectations that you have for this individual as regards to what he should be doing, being that you voted for him?
My expectations from him is to, bring this country together that's divided.
And how do you think he's going to be able to do that? What does he need to do in order for that to happen?
He needs to listen to the Democratic side. He needs to listen to what they want, and if he can help, he needs to do so.
Has he been doing that so far?
I don't believe so. No. But I hope that once he get in office, that this.
Did he do it the first? Did he do it? Okay, so did he do it the first time he was in office?
Yes.
He listened to the Democrats.
Yes.
Can you tell me when he listened to the Democrats? What was passed under Trump where he listened to the Democrats during that time, especially during the time
Uh,
of C-19, because that was during C-19. So tell me where, in what way did he listen to the Democratic Party and brought about a change, sir? In what way did he listen to them? His first term.
well, Van Jones had came to Trump and was asking him to help for the uh, criminal reform bill, um, that they needed help with votes, and they knew that it wasn't going to get no help. They needed three. I think they needed like three votes, and it was determined by Republican voters, and Trump made the call and uh,
What type of
ma-
do you know
made
anything
that
about?
happen.
Do you know anything about the reform bill that you're talking about?
The First Step Act.
What was it? What was it? What was the details about this reform bill?
It
Then I'm gonna
it
go to
got
Roberto and let him respond to you on that. But go ahead.
it reduced sentences for nonviolent offenders, um, and so they can be able to, you know, get out and be with their people, you know, and and lessen the crime, the penalties for these petty crimes, you know, so
And
people can
you
be
and
able.
you and you believe that he wrote that Trump wrote that bill and that it was a bill that he created. Is that what you're telling
No,
me?
no, it was a bill, I believe, that the Black Caucus was trying to get pushed, and they needed some votes from the Republicans, and they knew wasn't going to do it. And Van Jones, a journalist from one of these news places, reached out to Trump, and Trump got it done for him and helped him.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna stop there and then we're gonna go to some more things of what you think you guys should do. But let's talk about that bill for a moment. Roberto, you want to respond to that?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the bill, and I didn't think it was more than a publicity stunt.
All right. So you okay? So let Miranda. You want to respond before I respond? Miranda, you want to respond to what he just said?
Honestly, I'm not familiar with the bill. I'm not even going to pretend to be, so you take it.
All right. Okay. So listen. A lot of times, Trump rejects before he accepts. That's one thing we got to remember. Trump did not like anything that Obama did. He really did not want to sign anything. And understand that a lot of things have time limits on it. When they write bills, not all bills are indefinitely. Some bills are temporary. Some bills have dates on it. They go out. As it relates to the voter rights, that's why we're dealing with voter rights right now because they had a date on it. After 20 years, you got to bring it to the floor again and do it all over again. So a lot of these things had already been written as it relates to the law. It has already been written. It was voted upon, and the Republican parties fought against it. When Tim Scott, it was Tim Scott that was involved. It wasn't about no Van Jones. You talk about but Tim Scott was involved, and I believe there was another senator that was involved in coming together to draft up this bill to address that. However, sir, it did not pass. Okay, the particular bill that they were trying to draft did not pass. Okay, now there was already something there that he did address, but it was already there. It was about extending it. Okay, there's a difference in extending a bill that already exists versus voting a new bill into play. There's a difference. Okay, it could be drafted by one administration, and when it reaches its deadline, the other administration will decide if they're going to extend it or not. In other words, when he was president during his first election, he did not come up with anything to help black people that were in jail. But go ahead, let's go to something else. Ty Jones, let's move on from there. You have any questions on what I just said, and we can move on to something else.
Yeah, I just want to say that the Senate did pass, the criminal justice reform bill did pass,
You looked
and
it up?
yeah,
You looked it
and
up? When did it pass?
shoot, it was 5 years ago.
You looked it up?
Uh,
I thought you looked it up.
uh, but it did pass.
You don't have
And
the year. You don't have the year when it passed.
I said 5 years ago.
Okay. All right. So it passed 5 years ago under what? Who administration?
Trump, 2019.
Okay. Roberto is going to fact check that to make sure you're accurate. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So and they wasn't the Republican Party was not going to vote for it, and Trump went in and did that for a favor for Van Jones, and he did it.
Whoa, whoa,
And
wait. Why would he be doing that for a favor for Van? Who is Van? I know who Van Jones is, but who is Van Jones as regards to Trump doing a favor for him?
because they was, because he was he's a journalist, and he was working hard and to get this done. He was helping the Black Caucus to get this done, and they thought that they wasn't going to get it done, and he made a Hail Mary and went and asked Donald Trump personally, and Donald Trump said, "I'll help you," and he went and talked to us 3 senators that wasn't going to vote for it, and he changed their minds, and they voted for it.
And what are the details of it again? What are the details of it again?
Well, you remember when, what's her name, Kim Kardashian, Meek Mills, it gave them an opportunity to go around to advocate to help and get people out of federal penitentiaries that was nonviolent offenders. And
All right, so let's stop here. Let me say this. We're dealing with muddy waters, and let me explain to you what I mean by muddy waters. There's so much inconsistency when it comes to this. I also have heard so many different types of stories when it comes to this bill, whether it was passed, whether it didn't pass, which part of it passed, which part of it didn't pass. That when you start talking about a bill, sir, just because it says the name, they did not pass that whole bill. There were pieces of it that did pass, but the bill itself did not. So I want to make sure I got Roberto out here. He's going to fact check some information so we can follow up with that. But if I'm not mistaken, the overall bill did not pass. There were pieces of the bill that I believe was implemented, but I'm not sure if the whole bill passed. And that is the point that I was trying to make. But I'm not saying that you're wrong or right. I'm just going to do some further fact checking, which Roberto is checking now, and we're going to come up and see if it lines up with the things that you're saying. Let's move on from that. All right, so there's two areas that you covered. You covered the the platinum plan, which I've explained to you how that works. I explained to you that did not work for us, or we wouldn't be dealing with what we're dealing with now when it comes to housing. Because if you did not know it, sir, people cannot afford to purchase a house, neither can they even afford to rent. So I'm trying to figure out where this platinum plan is working. I don't see it. So we're going to pass from that. Now we went on to the other area that you was talking about, which is this black plan supposed to release, people that did not commit or heinous crimes, and now they've been released. And so we fact checking that. So let's go on to another area that you was concerned about to why you voted for him. What is the next area, sir, that you was concerned about to the reason why you voted for him?
I voted for him for the simple fact that I just didn't trust Miss Harris' leadership,
Okay,
and
so what about? I'm not going to talk about Miss Harris. Because she didn't win. So we're going to talk about who won. So I want to know what is it that he did that you have an expectation for what he's going to do now that he's been voted in as president. what is your expectation? Now we've covered the platinum plan, which has nothing to do with what he's going to do in the future, because I ain't heard nothing else about no platinum plan, sir. And the fact of the matter is, if he already implemented during his first term, why would he be talking about it now? If we don't see the results from the first time he ran his office with that same plan. So when you was running through lives and speaking about who you were supporting, did you mention groceries? I'm sure you did, right? The price of groceries.
Of course.
Is your expectation for him to bring groceries down?
Yes.
And how do you think? What's your expectation for him to do that? Are you looking for that to happen instantly, or are you looking for that to happen? When are you looking for your groceries to come down?
I know it's not going to come instantly, because he already said that day one he's focusing on the mass deportation thing.
Okay,
Uh,
so how long
I,
you
I
gonna give him? How long you gonna give him on the groceries to come down? How long can you suffer? Because you were suffering under the Biden administration before you voted for him. You voted for Biden because the groceries was so high and you were struggling, but you wasn't willing to wait until the economy got better in the area of groceries for Biden. But you're telling me you're willing to wait for Trump for the groceries to get better. So can you give me a deadline of how much time you're going to give him on the prices of groceries, sir? Because that was part of the conversation as regards to how people were concerned about the groceries. So if you could have lasted as relates to the groceries under Trump, certainly you could have lasted under Biden if we're talking about grocery prices. It seems as though you're okay with it now. So how much time are you going to give him as it relates to the grocery prices? How much time are you going to give him?
at least a year or two.
So you're going to give this guy a year or two as it relates to groceries, but you couldn't vote for Biden and give him.
I only say
Yeah.
that for the simple fact that that inflation has come down, and
So you
it's
believe grocery? Okay, so you okay to struggle with your grocery prices for about a year or two? Is that what you're telling me?
no, I'm not struggling.
I mean, but I'm saying if it comes to, I mean, you just said you was concerned about groceries. So are you concerned? Are you still concerned about grocery prices?
Yeah, I think that it needs to come down some more.
Okay, so you say you're gonna give him a year or two before those groceries come down before you start saying something?
Yes, I know
Okay.
it's gonna take a lot of planning and and some effort to make that happen. It's not gonna
Okay.
happen overnight.
Okay, well, I just thought because y'all thought Biden was going to be able to do it overnight. I'm just kind of surprised because the argument was that he was going to be able to do it overnight. But we're going to move on from there, and we're going to go to some other areas. So you okay with that? The border, immigration. How you feel about that?
I love it.
You love the fact that he's looking to take away citizenship from people that have been paying taxes in this country and have been in here for 10, 15, and 20 years of their lives and have went through the law and gone through the whole process of getting their citizenship. Are you okay with them with revoking that and shipping them off as well? Are you okay with that?
No, I'm not okay with that. He didn't say that.
He didn't? Oh, you have
If,
not been
if
listening.
I mean,
Okay, so
if they are
yeah.
citizens, how can they be deported?
You ever heard of naturalized citizenship, sir?
Yes,
Okay, do you not know what that means?
yes, I know what that means.
Okay, sir, have you not heard them say and him say throughout this his campaign and said now that naturalized citizens they looking at revoking people nationalized citizenship? Have you not heard that, sir?
I heard that they looking into it
Okay, sir, if they're looking into it, if they're not going to do it, why are they looking into it?
because they actually have people that come across the border
Sir,
and have a
that's two.
baby.
No, sir. That's two different subjects and situations. Okay, denaturalization is that's two separate. Okay, they're looking at both things, right? So if you on one hand you're looking for people that came over here illegally, right? So you're looking at that. So if you're looking
Right,
at people that came over here illegally, you don't need to look at people that are nationalized citizens because they got their paperwork. They've been here 15, 20 years. They got a job. They're working. They're in the system. They got social security cards. They're in the system. They're getting their money. They got everything they need. So you don't really need to look into that, sir, unless you're
so
looking to change
Trump
it.
is not Trump is not going after them.
Okay, so you just said that you agree that they have been talking about it, sir.
No, what they've been talking about is the separation of the families. Like if they got a child that they have a baby over here, and the baby is an American born citizen, but the parent's not.
Okay, hold on a minute.
And
Hold on a minute, sir. You kind of mixing the soup here. Listen, you're mixing the soup. We got to keep the soup. You got to keep it divided. Vegetables. You're putting vegetables in the soup where it don't belong. Listen, I'm talking about nationalized citizens that have worked. They got a social security card. They've been in this country 15, 20, 30 years. They pay their taxes. They are citizens. They went through the legal system and all of that. They are talking about revoking that, sir.
no, that's not going to happen.
What you mean is not going to happen?
That's not going to happen. He didn't say that.
He didn't say, okay, all right.
Tell
Let
me
me
where
go
he
to,
said that at. I'll look it up. I
okay,
mean,
okay, all right.
I
You
could be
mute for a
wrong.
minute. You mute for a minute. Let me go to Roberto, and then I'm going to Renee. Roberto, did you research the other part, and then we'll go and talk?
The First Step Act was passed December 18th or December 21st, 2018. And it was just for people convicted in federal court of nonviolent crimes. It was meant to reduce their sentence and get them early released.
Were you able to get information on when that bill was drafted?
December 21st, 2018 was when it was signed.
Okay, who initially drafted the bill?
It
Do you
was
know?
bipartisan.
All right, thank you, Roberto. Let me go to Renee. Renee, hold on, Renee.
Good morning, Roberto and AJ
Good morning.
panel. So yeah, I just popped on. I heard some stuff, and I just wanted to address it to the gentleman, T.Y. Jones. I'm going to ask you. Is it okay, IJ, if I ask him a few questions, and then I'm going to bring my source up
Yeah,
and
that's fine.
correct him?
That's
So
fine.
where do you get your credible news source? Like, what is your main source of news, sir?
Ty Jones, she asked you a question. If you can unmute, yeah, go ahead.
I was looking for the mute button. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's no
That's
problem.
okay.
Go ahead.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah,
'Cause I was
yeah. I was just asking, where do you get your main source of information? What is your credible sources that you use?
I try to go directly to the source. If not, I have to go to ground or go to news clippings.
Okay.
Things like that.
Okay. Okay. So there you can be getting wrong information. There's sources that you can consider credible and not credible. Anyway, I don't know if you've heard of PBS News. That is a credible source of information. And you can look that up yourself. But what is birthright citizenship? And I'm reading from PBS right now, sir. What is birthright citizenship and how could Trump end it? President Donald Trump has promised, President-elect Donald Trump has promised, okay, to end birthright citizenship as soon as he gets into office to make good on campaign promises, aiming to restrict immigration and redefining what it means to be American. And I'm going to read you what it means because you're saying that it's not true. I'm not lying to you. This is credible. You can go to pbs.org and look this up yourself. Birthright citizenship means anyone born in the United States automatically becomes an American citizen. It's been in place for decades and applies to children born to someone in the country illegally or is in the U.S. on a tourist or student visa who plans to return to their home country. So you are misguided that he does plan on getting rid of or removing people who've been here their whole lives. So I just thought I would make that correction to you, sir. And I'm going to land my plane right there, AJ.
All right, thank you, Renee. Or you can respond, Ty Jones, if you like, and then I got to welcome the next guest that just come up. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. And he said out of his mouth that these people are coming across the border and having babies and trying to get citizenship.
Okay. So let me stop you right there. Let me get you an understanding what we're talking about. Okay. There's a difference in talking about what happened recently versus what happened 40 years ago. If the United States gave people legal rights 40 years ago to come across the border and get their citizenship 40 years ago, that has absolutely nothing to do with today.
And they can stay.
Let me finish. He's looking to go back 30, 40 years. That means other individuals that came over in this country. I can go as back as 10 years ago. They came over here legally, because let's tell the difference here. They are legal if the law says if your child is born in this country and you become a citizen, that is legal because it was written. What he's looking to do is strap the legal law that said it was okay and now say that it's wrong. I'm sure you've heard of grandfathered in. You know what grandfathered in means? Do you know what that means, sir? When something has been grandfathered in? Tell me what that means. Do you know what that means? Grandfathered in?
Yes.
Okay, so with that in mind, that says that if I do something legally, what I did was legal. Okay? I went through the process. Not everybody came over the border, sir. Some people got over here on planes. Some people rode over here on buses. Some folks came here legally. Not everybody that came over here from somewhere else got here illegally. There are people in this country that came over here legally, and he's going after people that got here legally. That's what we need to look at. What was the law when they came here? If you abide by the law, see, sir, what you don't understand, he can rob you of your citizenship. Do you not know that? Because your very citizenship is based on the Constitution. Did you know that? Your citizenship can be stripped from you if they make an amendment to the Constitution. Your citizenship can be stripped. Why? Because of your ancestry, your ancestors, your forefathers that reside in Africa. Your very citizenship is based on the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment, in which they can make an amendment to and take that away from you. So think about that for a moment. If they're willing to do that to individuals like that, what you think they're willing to do to you and me? They could do the same to us, you know, by identifying citizenship as something else or something other than what is written now. By doing that, that also means that our citizenship can be stripped eventually. Roberto?
Dred Scott, 1857. Look it up.
Right. That's the point I'm making here. Look up the Dred Scott ruling. The only way that man got citizenship is because of a civil war. Black man, slave, okay, that did not get citizenship until a civil war and until it was written in the Constitution that we are free when they got rid of slavery. Because initially, if you were a slave and black in this country, you were not considered as a citizen, sir. So it's bigger than just them. When you start talking about identifying citizenship, what make you think they see you any differently? You're not YT, I'm not YT. And some folks that think that way, they're thinking only about themselves and people that look like them. They're not thinking about you and me. But let me go to Renee because she did have her hand up, and then I'll come back to you. Renee?
Yeah, I just wanted to say to him, I don't think he really comprehended what I said. Like, it just, you didn't comprehend what I said. So, another thing I was going to say, and I put it in chat, but it's like, Donald Trump's old son would actually fall under this because of his wife being an immigrant, or Elon Musk being an immigrant. So their children would fall under this. So yeah, you didn't understand what I said. So yeah, that's all I want to say, AJ.
So when you start talking about citizenship, consider your own citizenship because your citizenship is on a piece of paper, sir, which is the Constitution. But go
Uh,
ahead, I'm listening.
okay.
Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that about your
So
citizenship?
I think all this is stemming from the interview from Tom Holman and also the
No. I didn't ask you that. Do you is your
interview.
hold on, sir? Is your citizenship on a piece of paper?
I'm a citizen of the United States
But what made you a citizen, sir?
by me being born here.
No, 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 sir. What made you? Well, you know what made you the citizen of the United States? The Constitution. The Constitution made you a citizen. Initially, sir, you weren't even a citizen in this country until until the amendments of the Constitution, 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment of the Constitution. You weren't even seen as a citizen.
Yeah, that was written back then. When I was
Sir,
born,
sir, wait a minute,
Constitution
sir.
was written.
Wait. Sir, is the Constitution, does the Constitution matter today as it did back then?
Most certainly it does.
Okay, so, sir, why would you say that was written back then when the Constitution is the law of this land and they can make amendments to the Constitution at any given time if they got the right Supreme Court in place? Do you realize that they can revoke your citizenship, sir?
They could revoke everybody's citizenship if you're gonna go off of that because
Oh, so how do
everybody
you feel
was.
about how do you feel about that? How would you feel if your citizenship was revoked?
I would feel bad.
Okay, and you were born here, right?
Yes.
So I want you to think about that. The people that were born here, the same way as you would feel as you was born here, and your citizenship was stripped. Think about them for a moment,
But
sir,
you
because they're in the
taking it
same
out of
boat.
context though.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You won't let me explain.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. So, like I was saying about the interviews that just happened, all this is stemming from, okay, is that these people they looking for, first of all, they're gonna start off deporting the criminals. Okay. They already done said that. Next, they're gonna do is get the people out of here that's
Sir,
been here
sir.
over the past
Okay, let me
4
stop you for a minute. Hold on a
years.
minute. Hold on a minute, sir. Let me ask you a question. How long has crime been in America? Was crime here before foreigners got here, sir? Did we have crimes? Did we have criminals here?
I don't know why this thing keep muting on its own.
Did we have criminals here before anybody from any other country or land got over here? Did America have criminals?
Of course.
And then who did we just vote in the White House, sir?
Donald Trump.
And what he's been accused of, sir?
He's been accused of a lot of stuff.
And has he been found guilty of anything?
No.
Trump has not been found guilty of anything, sir?
Well, he's been found guilty.
He's a felon. Shut up. He's a felon.
Renee.
Sorry,
Renee.
AJ. I didn't mean to say Eshep. Sorry, I
Renee.
apologize. I just
Okay.
can't handle it.
All right.
I can't. I'm
Hold on.
sorry. I may have
Renee.
to drop.
Man,
Okay.
damn,
So
control yourself. Shit.
okay. Listen. Hold up. This is Renee. Remember, this is not the road we go down because we're not trying to go down that road. I'm not about to go down. I feel your passion. Trust me. So, sir.
I'm sorry, you guys.
It's okay. So you vote. So, sir, if you want to talk about criminality and the crimes, we just voted in somebody. You voted for somebody that was a criminal, right?
Yeah. I mean, technically, yeah, you can say that.
Okay. Okay. All right. So go ahead and finish your thoughts so we can move on from here. Go ahead.
So, the question was asked to Trump and Holman. That's going to be the new border czar. Is the separation of the family, because there are kids that are here that were born here, and they have social security cards and everything. And they was like, are you going to separate them? And the question was, if they want to go, they can go.
What are you talking about, sir? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You talking, so you acting like that born citizens can be yanked up out of here and taken to a whole nother country. You said even I could be taken up out of here, which is extreme. Okay. Now,
Wait a minute. You talking about extreme?
yes,
You
that's
voted for a
extreme.
guy that's extreme. What are you talking about? You just voted for somebody that's extreme.
That's your opinion.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
Okay.
So go ahead, sir. Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm gonna let you talk. Go ahead.
So the problem is Lionel, that you have people that's actually crossing the border
Okay.
and having children trying to get
Okay.
citizenship.
So your guy has won. So that means that's gonna change, right? Because he won the White House. So that means y'all not gonna have an issue with that anymore, right? He
Issue
won already.
with the
Yeah, he
border.
won. Yeah. No more issues with that because he won. So we're not
I
gonna
mean,
have,
I don't
so,
know. All I know is he's going to try to do something about it.
okay. So that means that there's no worry anymore. You good with that because he's gonna address that, right?
Yeah, I'm good with
Okay.
that.
All right. Well, you keep you going back down this whole talking. You talking like we're in an election. The election is over, and you going down the road about what is what we the problems that we have. They're going to be fixed now because Trump said he's the fixable guy. He's going to fix all of that, right? He's going to fix that,
Right,
right?
right.
Okay. So why are you still talking about it if you got the guy you wanted to fix it?
I mean, y'all talking about it. That's what we're talking about.
But what the point I'm trying to make to you, Ty Jones, is that the way you went down talking about the border is though, we know it's still a problem, but your guy won, so he's going to fix that. But also, when it comes to citizenship, I don't know if you miss what I'm trying to say here, but the bottom line is we're going to wait and see what happened, and hopefully your eyes will become open once you see the truth. What are your thoughts on immunity as regards to Trump seeking to implement the law on giving officers immunity? What are your thoughts on that?
I have mixed thoughts about the immunity, but I am knowledgeable about it. So it's everybody think that police is going to have immunity
No, I
to
want to know your thoughts. I don't want to know everybody
unalive
else's thoughts.
people.
I want to know your thoughts. I don't want to know everybody else's thoughts. I want to know your thoughts.
Well, it's just to protect the government from being sued civilly.
The government, sir?
Yeah, the police
It's
department.
to protect the government, sir? No, individual officer, sir. It has nothing to do. It's to protect the individual officer that may decide to go in and unalive an innocent person. It is to protect them, the corrupt officer, sir. It will protect a corrupt officer that unalives innocent people.
If they
That's
go outside of their training,
they will be protected, sir.
they have body cams.
How many BLK people have been unalive with officers with body cams, sir?
It's mandatory for them to have their body cams
How
on at
many
all
people?
times.
How many people have been unalive by the hands of officers that had body cams?
I don't know.
Okay, but you do know that many of them have been unalive with body cams on, right?
Correct. So this is somebody putting Sonya Massey, and that was terrible. What happened
Okay,
there?
all right, and that was an officer. So imagine that officer having complete immunity where he can walk away from that crime.
He wouldn't be able to walk away from it
Why?
if he go outside of his training, and
So
he would be
have you
helpful.
been following the various unalived BLK people in this country that where officers got off scot free? Have you been following that at all?
Yes, it is some that haven't got off scot free.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. I do have somebody above you, Roberto, but I cannot see the person. I'm going to ask them. I'll come back to you, Ty Jones. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time just going back and forth with you. You are welcome to stay here and take part in the conversation, but your call and decision has been made. I'm going to ask you, I've been asking you expectations of what you expect for this person to do. And we can, as we go farther into the conversation, we may ask you additional questions. Roberto, yes.
It looks like the other guest is on pause.
All right, drop them until they're ready to come back up and until they're done with what they're doing. And then okay, that's Renee. Oh, I thought there was somebody else. We have our guest. Well, we got our family, which is Renee, Roberto, and then we have our guest who is Ty Jones, who voted for Trump, by the way. and we having this conversation with him as regards to what his expectations are now that his guy has won the White House. What is his expectation for this person to do? And as we often have conversations from time to time with people that supported him, there are agreements and disagreements. That's going to happen. Renee, is that something that you wanted to say before I move forward?
I was just going to say that he was, the gentleman contradicted himself because he says that he was, he's a citizen because he was born here. Yet, other people who come from various places who were born here, that makes them citizens. And so, yes, AJ, you were correct. Like, it's under attack. So I just wanted to say there was a contradiction in kind of what you were saying, sir.
Thank you, Renee. All right, so listen, everybody. We're having several discussions today about what do we need to do to move forward. We got integration, the importance of communities coming together to work together in order to bring change. But first, you got to face the truth and reality. You cannot embrace lies and then have an expectation that things are going to change. You have to be open to speak against the very person or persons or corporations that you agree with. You got to be open to speaking against the things that they implement that goes against various communities out here in order to have a change that will last. And the problem with America, as I cited, that there are many of us divided. Now, I did ask Ty Jones that he said he had an expectation for Trump to bring America back together. I don't know if he answered that question. Let me go back to him. What do you think Trump needs to do? You said that Trump needs to work across the aisle as regards to the Democrats in order to bring the country back together. And I asked you, do you think he did that? Has he done it already? And you said, nah, but I hope he does. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. So how much time are you going to give him on that?
I expect for him to do that. Shoot, the first week in office, he need to be, figuring out what the other side want just as much as his side.
And if
once he becomes president, he's all of our president. You know what I'm saying? Not just.
And if he doesn't.
If he doesn't, then he doesn't. I wouldn't like it.
So
I wouldn't like it.
So you're okay with that if he doesn't?
I just said I wouldn't like it.
Okay, so you wouldn't like it, but are you okay with that? Would it change your ideal, your thoughts, or anything like that? Or are you going to continue to support him even if he doesn't?
No, I'll continue to support him.
So that means your statement is not genuine.
No, it is genuine.
How is it genuine, sir, if you say I want him to work across the aisle, and if he doesn't, and your mentality is, oh, I'm still going to support him even if he doesn't do it, really doesn't matter, right? I mean, if he do or don't,
no, really because he has policies that I would like for him to do and to stick with.
No, sir. I'm talking about working across the aisle, sir. I asked you the question about, you said you would like to see him work across the aisle with the Democratic Party to get things done on the behalf of all American people. I asked you, what if he doesn't? And you said you're okay with that.
I mean, what am I supposed to do?
What do you think you're supposed to do?
I mean, I can't vote him out. He's already in.
But you said you would still support him, though.
Yes, I would. He's the president.
Sir, there's been many presidents that I didn't support. Reagan, I wasn't very fond of Reagan when he was president. So supporting him is speaking on his behalf. So if the question is, if you're gonna still be going up on panels in spite of him doing what he's doing, speaking on his behalf, sir, and defending him,
then I feel how I want to feel, not how you want me to feel. Is that fair?
What are you talking about?
I just told you that I would like to see him work across the aisle. And you asked me, now what if he don't?
And my statement was that
will I still support him? I said yes.
But my statement was that's not genuine and you don't mean what you're saying. That's my statement. And
okay. Well, all right, that's your opinion.
That's my statement. Because you know why I can say that? You know why I can say that? Not because I want you to feel some way. It's because the information that you just gave me that told me how you really feel. That's how I know this, sir. Because you can't have you can't have two things at the same time. You can't say that I would like for him to reach across the aisle and work with other politicians, but if he doesn't, it doesn't matter, and I'm still going to defend him and make that make sense. It means that what you're really saying, it doesn't matter to you, sir. You don't care. That's what you're
No,
saying.
no,
It
I
doesn't
do
matter.
care. I do care.
All right. All right. Well, maybe you need to change your tone, sir, because you act like you don't care based on your tone now. I'm just telling you how you're sounding. But let me go to Renee. She did have her hand up. Renee.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like you don't have a backbone, because just because someone's a president doesn't mean you have to agree with them. And I'm sorry, but if I voted for someone and they promised certain things and didn't do it and didn't care, I would have a problem with that. If I have a boss who says they're going to do X, Y, and Z and they don't, I would have a problem with that. I think people should be held accountable for their words and what they promise, especially if you are a person who is going to be president of the United States. You need to represent everyone. And what I think is so funny, and it's that is, he promised like, oh, I'm going to lower all the prices and everything's going to be cheap day one. You're not going to pay this much in groceries. And he literally just did an interview for Time Magazine. And he said, well, I can't guarantee the prices are going to be low. Once they're up, they're up. So he's just a liar, and his supporters like just don't hold him accountable. It's like so bizarre to me. Like if my daughter lied to me over and over again, like I would have an issue with that. There's an issue there. Like take everything he says at face value and don't even realize that he's going to affect your lives, and you voted for that. When you don't have health care, when you can't get coverage because you have pre-existing conditions. Like I have people I love who have pre-existing conditions, and I'm concerned. He wants to take away veterans benefits. My dad's a veteran. He's turning 94 this week, and he's a veteran. And so for people who voted against people I love and other people, I just have a problem with that.
So, did you have a problem when Biden lied to the American people about pardoning?
Okay. What
So
we're not going to do? Hold on.
Okay. AJ, I got you, AJ.
Hold on, everybody. Hold on, because what we're not going to do, I'm not going to relitigate an election that's over. That we're not going to do. We're not going to get into a debate about who's bad, who's worse. Biden, Trump. Trump has won according to what people are saying. He's going to be president of the United States. I'm not about to go into this debate about Biden and Trump. The only reason why Ty Jones is here is because I asked him what was his expectations now that Trump has won. What is his expectation moving forward from this guy? I'm not going to discuss Biden nor Harris when it comes to this past election. I'm not going back down that road. It doesn't make sense. And if Ty Jones came up here to have that kind of debate, he in the wrong line. That's not the debate we're going to have. Okay?
Thank you, AJ. I appreciate that.
No problem, Renee. No, I get where Renee coming from. I know how she feel. I hear it too, because I hear it too, Renee. But I'm not going down that I'm not going down that hole, because that's what they want. I'm not going to debate with this guy about a choice he's already made. But if you want to talk about what he's going to do moving forward and what your expectations are, but it sounds to me, Ty Jones, and you could correct me, it doesn't matter what this guy does. It will not change your mind. Does it matter at all what this individual does? What is it that he would have to do to change your mind about supporting him? Can he do anything that can change your mind about supporting him?
Of course he can.
What?
He can make a very bad decision and do some wrong things that I would not agree with.
Like what?
I I mean, I don't know. It'll be too extreme for me to say that I know it wouldn't happen, but
Wait a minute. Hold on, Ty Jones. Hold on. This is what I don't understand, sir. That you actually trying to figure out what this guy would do to make you not vote for him, but you say so easily. You had so much to say about what Biden and how bad he is, so much to say about Harris and how bad she is. But yet, when it comes to asking questions about Trump and how bad he could be, it becomes a debatable and like cobwebs of the brain, and you can't think and you hesitate and I don't know, I can't figure. Are you for real right now,
yes, because I like to deal with the facts, not assumptions.
sir? There's so many assumptions that has gone out about the other side and the other party until it's ridiculous. You don't have a problem with talking about assumptions when it comes to other people other than him. You don't have a
What, like
problem with
what?
entertaining it.
I don't like talking about assuming things. I like to talk about facts.
Okay,
And that's what y'all
no,
doing. Y'all
hold on a
assuming
minute. Hold on, Ty.
what
Hold on,
Trump
Ty.
is going to
Hold
do
on,
in
Ty.
office.
Hold on, Ty. Hold on, Ty. Because I want you to feel. Hold on. I want you to continue to feel good about the vote you made. I'm not here to discourage you, because you voted for a perfect guy. Okay, you voted for a perfect guy that has never done any wrong, and he's the victim. People have done this billionaire so badly. They've done this billionaire so wrong. And he's going to look out for the poor people because he's a billionaire and he owns corporations. And he's going to look out for you because he got his name written on his backside. Oh, yeah, it's written there in big letters. And every time he thinks, he goes to the mirror, pull down his trousers, look in the mirror, and see your name there. And it makes him say, "Oh, I gotta look out for him. I gotta look out." He is a perfect individual with no problems at all, and there's no way possible he could do me bad. No way possible, because he's related to the heavenly things and God and Jesus, and he's the Savior and the Lord, and he's the man. That's the guy. That's my guy. Is that your guy? Yeah, that's my guy. Do you love him? Yes, I love him. I mean, that's we could talk about Biden. We could say negative things about Biden. We could say negative things about Harris, but oh no, not him. No. You assuming, you thinking, I'm a real man over here. I gotta wait to facts. I need facts. But then when you're given facts like 34 felony charges, oh no, that's not facts. He wasn't found guilty on that. That's not facts. That's made up. That's a lie. That's misinformation. That's a witch hunt. Okay? So I'm just showing your biases. That's being very biased, sir. Okay?
It's not
So
biased, it's
I
facts.
asked you, you couldn't even
He's
give me
not
a
a
straight
34
answer.
conviction.
Hold on, Ty Jones. You couldn't even give me a straight answer. The only thing I asked you was, and I'm gonna ask you one more time, and I would hope that you would give me a good answer, because you sound like a smart guy. So I hope that you would give me a straight answer. I'm gonna ask you one more time. What does it take? What is it that Trump can do to cause you to change your whole support of him? What does he have to do to change your support of him? Real simple question. It's not that complicated.
Say something about my race. Say something negative about my race. That'll do it.
Have you been asleep?
See what I'm saying?
Well, I'm asking you that because, sir, this man have said something about your race. Where have you been?
What?
Oh my God.
I mean, you got to pull out these receipts. Talk what you know.
You want me to tell him, or do you want to tell him?
Go ahead, Roberto.
I want him to tell me. He's the one talking. He can talk for himself. He's a grown man.
Hold on. Mute for me, Ty Jones. Mute for me, Ty Jones, if you would. Mute for me, Ty Jones. Mute. Thank you. Thank you so much for muting for me. Let me say this. If you don't know that, it doesn't matter what I say. Because you haven't bothered to investigate and research it for yourself to see if he said anything about Black people, if you're concerned about Black people. That was so easy for you to say that as
I
though you
have.
said, wait a minute, let me finish. Let me finish, and then I'll let you respond if you were mute. If you mute. I don't have anything to prove to you no more than you have to prove anything to me. But I do know that we both are black men. Okay? One voted for the opposite, and one voted for the guy that would be taking the office. I'm not going to debate with you so much about your vote. But it's really disturbing when I hear certain individuals within my community talk the way you're talking right now. It's very discouraging because it doesn't make sense. This guy, this individual have had a history of racism. A history. Have you forgotten about the New York young men that he put out an ad on as regards to them being unalived for something that they did not do that happened in New York? Are you aware of that? Are you aware about their housing practices? With his father, along with the family that was in the business, would not allow minorities to rent into their properties. Are you aware of that? Are you aware of all the things that he's said even recently from his platforms as regards to black folks, which are Haitians, eating cats and dogs? They may be Haitian, sir, but they look just like you and me. They're black. And they're eating cats and dogs. Are you aware of that? So for you to say that he would have to say something about black people to change your mind, and he said things about black people and you voted for him, I don't know where you've been. That's why I asked you, have you been dreaming? So now that I've given you the facts, some of the facts on what he said regards to black people, did that change your mind, sir? Oh, wait for it, everybody. Wait for it. Did that change your mind?
No, because I've researched everything that you said to debunk all of those claims that you just said.
All of them?
And if you would have researched,
All of
you
them?
would have seen it too.
Wait. Did you say all of them?
All of them.
Did you watch the debate?
Yes, I watched the debate.
And so what, did he not say that at the debate, sir?
Say what?
Haitians are
Exactly.
eating cats and dogs.
Yes, he did say that.
Okay, so what color are Haitians, sir?
Come on now, they dark skinned.
Okay, sir, what, so they're dark skinned or they're black?
They're black.
Okay, so you just said that if you say anything about black people, you just said black people, you would have a problem with that. That's what you said.
Correct.
So he said that black people are eating cats and dogs.
Correct.
So how do you feel about that?
I feel that I had to do my research and see why he said that. And if you would have did your research, you would know why he said that. There were black people in Springfield at a board meeting talking about.
Stop.
See,
Ty Jones. You know why
no,
I'm stopping? You know why I'm stopping you, sir? You know why I'm stopping you? Because I'm not going to allow you to continue to be ignorant on this platform. You're trying to challenge my intelligence. You don't need to be challenging my intelligence, sir, on what I know and what I don't know. You contradict every word that you say. Every time you say something, you try to make excuses for the thing that you just said. You said that you would have a problem with him if he says something about black people. And then when I prove a point, you go somewhere else. Then you want to challenge my intelligence on I didn't research. And I need to do further research just on the surface alone that he made the statement, sir. I don't need to do no research. It shouldn't have came from his mouth. He never should have said it. I don't need a research to make me feel better about a YT guy saying that BLK people are eating cats and dogs?
Because black people were saying it first. That's what you don't know.
Oh, God. Okay, sir. Mute for me, sir. Let me go to let me welcome Elaine. Elaine, welcome back. I know you've been here before. Let me come back to you. How you doing, sis? Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good
Good morning to
afternoon.
you. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking.
Good. Yes. So I just have to rebut real quickly on what the gentleman was saying in terms of the Central Park Five and the fact that he doesn't understand how horrible that situation was. I am from the New York, New Jersey area. I remember that situation vividly. And so for the fact that this person is saying that he needs proof that Donald Trump is not a racist, I'm just baffled as a black man that anyone in their right mind could vote for him and making excuses
Well,
for
yeah,
this.
yeah. We're not gonna address the vote. I'm just trying to see what his expectations for him in the future. Because what we're
Right.
not gonna do, sis, we're not gonna debate with him about his vote. He has made his vote. What we want to do is, my question to him was: is there anything that Trump can do that would change his support for him? But every time I catch him in something, he moved the goalpost and he make excuses for him. So I'm going to let you address him, but don't get back in a debate with him about why he voted, because he's already made the vote. We can't rescue the vote. Maybe we can rescue his mind, but we can't rescue the vote. You feel where I'm coming from?
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Absolutely.
So
No, that's actually all I wanted to say. I just wanted to get that out there, because it's baffling, it's frightening, it's disturbing, that people that look like us continue to make excuses and continue to try to justify their
yeah.
vote. Like as you said, the vote is already in. It is what it is. But I just hope that they're prepared for what is about to come.
Thank you, Elaine, and that's the route we got to take. Because the only
Yes.
reason why he's still up here is because he hasn't caused any issues. He speaks what he speaks, but at the end of the day, I wish I can play back and let him hear how he sounds. And I really wish that I could play back to him all the things that he said and rebuked and changed and how he has moved in this conversation. Because when he get caught in something, he goes over here, he go left, he goes right. But I wish I can play it back to him so he won't think that, play the victim, because he's not the victim here. We all are having an adult-like conversation. I'm giving him every opportunity to speak his truth, whatever his truth is. We can agree to disagree, but when you start making excuses without, as he mentioned, facts, because if you're going to talk facts, then be truthful about your facts and stop making excuses to cover up for somebody that can give a you know what about you. Really, to be truthful. But that's okay. Do you? That's your constitutional right, and I give him that right, and that's why he's still here, because of his constitutional right. And I don't have a problem with giving it to him. But with that in mind, I do have two individuals that have just joined us as regards to AJ's political views. Let me go to, I cannot see that, COGN. I'm going to go to you now. I know it says something, but when I see it, I can call it out. Welcome to AJ's political views. You can unmute now. Cognitive. I think that's what they said. Yeah. Go ahead.
Good evening. How you doing? Shout
Doing
out to you. I'm kind of new at these TikTok spaces. I usually be on Twitter, but I've noticed something since I came in your space. I've heard a lot of projection. I understand the vote. Some Black Americans wanted to vote Democrat, others wanted to vote Republican. Me, myself, I wrote in my candidate only for the simple fact, if these white people, as I like to say, just go ahead and put it out there, white.
European, say either European white, sir, or YT. You cannot say that too. I'm gonna let you can say it now, but don't make it repeat it, because it could cause problems.
Okay, gotcha. But anywho, yeah, so I also noticed, like, what is up with our Black American community shaming another person for voting one way or the other? I've noticed that a lot in these spaces since I've been coming in for the last couple of days. We have the Roland Martins out here that push for Kamala, and ironically, he got over $500,000 from Kamala.
So hold on a minute, sir. You're not going to come up here and start talking about Harris. The election is over, sir. We're not going down that road.
This is AJ's
I don't want to hear
political.
nothing about
This
what
is
Harris
AJ.
did. Hold on a minute, sir. Hold on, sir. I'm not going to debate with you or nobody on here as regards to what Harris has done, what she didn't do, what Biden done, what he didn't do.
I didn't
The
vote.
question. Hold on a minute, sir. Hold on, sir. Now let me answer your question. Your question was, why is it that people try to make individuals ashamed for who they vote for? Sir, we are adults, not children. We have intellectual, adult-like conversations. And I would hope that adults wouldn't play victim when we're speaking about our lives, policies, and politics as regards to where this country is going. Sir, if you mute, sir, let me go through how we do things here, because you keep trying to unmute because you want to debate with me. I'm not going to give you that. I'm the conductor of this live. Let me conduct it, sir.
We're
Please
conducting a great
stop
one.
unmuting, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Roberto. Thank you, Roberto. Now, let me move on to the next guest, since that one didn't know how to behave, being an adult, and come up on a panel and don't know how to conduct themselves as an adult, because adults know how to behave. Children, on the other hand, do not. So I believe that might have been a young person that came up and had not grown yet, maybe about, they might be 18, 19 years old, I'm assuming. That could not possibly have been an adult that came up here behaving like that. So if you cannot come up and behave like an adult, then there's no need for you to stay here. We don't throw tantrums here, okay? Let me go to Ed. Ed, welcome to AJ's Political Views. How you doing this morning? Ed?
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for
I'm doing
allowing
good,
me
thank
up.
you.
We just got to come together for real. This is the change we need, and that's how we gonna move forward with how we, like you said, we can't go backwards. We can't talk about what happened. He won. Let's move forward. Let's figure out how we can move forward as a country instead of dividing.
Thank you, Ed. Ed, if you don't mind me asking, did you support anybody during the election? And if so, who did you support?
I supported Kamala.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Have you been listening to the live and have heard the gentleman by the name of Ty Jones? Have you heard some of the things that he cited or said?
Yes, I have.
What are your thoughts?
I think that's wrong. How he's pretty much saying what he said. That all he has to do is say something racist. Is everything that he's done or said before. That doesn't change your mind about him. That we go back even further. We go back to 2012 when he talked about President Obama birth certificate. How why should a American president have to show his papers pretty much? The King birther. That's not how you gonna move the country forward by doing this type of stuff.
That's right. Denying the truth, right? When you say
Denying the
deny
truth,
the truth. Yeah,
denying the
denying the
truth.
truth. We got to embrace the truth in order to bring change. Thank you, Ed. Thank you so much. Renee, I'm going to come to you briefly because I got Coach that I need to go to. Yes, Renee.
I was just going to chime off kind of what he was saying. It's just very sad how we are divided. And I'll say this from our community, and what is really just hurtful to me. It's like, yeah, we all have our right to vote for who we want to vote for, of course. But at the same time, it's like, you're supposed to be my brother, my sister, and you voted for someone who wants to harm us, harm me. And that's what really hurts me. Yeah, I just wanted to say that.
All right, so let me do this. Now, Ty Jones did say something, Renee, I got to put out here. He said that a president represents all the people, and that, it shouldn't be about, he can correct me if I'm wrong, but it shouldn't be about race or color an individual is. Now, what I'm going to say to answer to what he did say about that, is that the truth is the truth and a lie is a lie. The problem that I find, it's not because of their vote. I think we need to get away from who they vote for. The question is why do you cover up to vote for a person? Why do we refuse the true facts and then just vote for a person? And why don't we educate ourselves what that person has said or didn't say? One thing I did notice about Ty Jones, he kept talking about what he said. Well, if you're an educated voter, you're going to fact check and see if what he said is true or false. That would be the right thing to do. Voting from a place of listening to an habitual liar and accepting the status quo on, oh, they told me that this, or I heard them say that. And we got to change why we vote. And we got to educate ourselves and become educated voters. That's where we need to start. And that goes on both sides, Democrat and Republicans alike. It doesn't matter. What we got to do is fact check. As Renee came up and said many times, you can fact check me. Go to PPS and PBS and fact check me. This is my source. This is where I'm getting my information from. Look at history. History plays a part in information where we can learn about certain things and certain people and what they did and what they didn't do. But see, what we got going on is people voting from a place of emotion and feelings and not voting from a place of facts. But I'm going to go back to Ty Jones, being that many people have mentioned him and have addressed him. I had somebody by the name of Coach, so I guess they dropped. But you can come back up, Coach, and I'll come right back to you, okay? You can come back up if you like. So Ty Jones, what are your thoughts on what I just said, sir, that we need to educate ourselves about who we're voting for?
I believe you are right, 100%. You have to be definitely be informed. I know I'm gonna get heat, especially from my own people, about the way I voted. But I did do my research, and I made a decision based upon my research.
Wait. You did some research. You didn't do all research, sir, because you had to ask me a question about the Platinum Plan. So you didn't do all research. You did some research. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yes, I did enough research to make for me to make a decision.
Then why would you bring up policies that you didn't do research on when we had a discussion earlier, and you brought up a policy that you didn't even do research on?
I mean, I didn't research every last policy, no.
But why would you bring it up in a discussion if you know you didn't research it?
Because you asked the question.
No, sir.
And
You
I
brought
gave you
you
an answer.
brought up no, sir. You brought up
And
the
you wanted
platinum.
me to go into details
I
with it.
asked you. Wait a minute. I asked you a question about a policy. So if you're a person that researched your vote, and I asked you, I didn't call out which policy, sir. You did. I didn't mention the platinum plan. You did. I just
Right.
specifically asked you the question of what has he done and what he's going to do, and you brought up the platinum plan. But you had not
Right.
researched that. So why would you bring up a plan that you had not researched?
I mean, I didn't know the details about it, but I knew that Ice Cube brought that plan to Donald Trump.
Where's Ice Cube coming from? That's not what you mentioned earlier, sir. You didn't mention Ice Cube.
I know I didn't. You don't never give me a chance to talk at all. You'll cut me off, and
So let me ask you about Ice Cube. How rich is Ice Cube?
he's a millionaire.
Do you know how much he's worth?
No, I just know he's rich.
Somewhere around 400 million.
Okay.
So he brought a platinum plan to do what for us? Because his platinum plan is bigger than just housing. So let's talk about his platinum plan. Do you know about it? You brought it up. Let's talk about it. What's in his platinum plan?
Well, for one, he wanted to sit down with the current president, and he denied him. And Trump was the only one that said listen to him.
How long has Ice Cube had that platinum plan out, sir?
He brought it to Trump's attention in the first term.
The first term, and what did happen? And so, if he brought it to Trump in the first term, was that platinum plan as it stands and as it is written? Was it implemented into law and policy, sir? Did Trump take
No,
on that plan and implemented it
no, he didn't.
when he was president the first time?
No, he didn't.
And why?
He said that he didn't have time to. He was going to do it if he was got reelected for a second term.
So you say he needed longer than 4 years to implement that, sir?
Um, no, he could have got right on it. If he chose to, I wish he would have, but
But he
he
chose
didn't.
not to, right?
Right,
He didn't do it, right?
right, he didn't.
So what make you think he's going to do it now?
Because I'm 46 years old, and out of all the presidents that I voted for since I was
No.
legally to
We're talking
vote,
about Trump. We're talking about Trump.
that's,
What make you
that's what I'm
think?
saying.
Hold on a minute. Yeah, sir. Because you're about to go down somewhere we don't need to travel. What?
I wasn't for to
What?
go far. I was going
What?
to
No,
land the
I don't want
plane.
to know about the many different presidents that didn't do good for the Democratic Party, and they never looked out for us. I know what your talking point is. I know where you're about to travel. I've heard
Okay,
it before.
cool,
I'm not
cool.
trying to travel down a road that I've been before. I know
Okay,
what you're
gotcha.
getting ready to say. So let's talk about, because that's a prompter. That's something been written for people to read off of. I'm not saying that's the case with you, but a lot of people are reading for prompters these
I
days.
get you. I
So,
get you.
okay, so let's talk about. So answer the question. All right, what make you think that he's going to implement that now when he didn't do it the first time?
I don't know. Don't know if he's gonna implement any of the things that he said he's gonna do. Don't know if any president's gonna do what they say they're gonna do. I just hope and pray that he does it.
And if he
Because that was
doesn't,
part of his plan.
and if he doesn't,
I'll be a little upset. I'll be mad.
would you still be supporting him?
Um, yes, I would. Just for the simple fact he's the president. And just because I didn't get what I wanted, I hope that he does something to make something else good, for me and other Americans. So
All right. So basically, what you're telling me, it doesn't matter what he does. You're going to continue to support him no matter what he does. That's what you just said.
if he's doing good, if he's doing
No,
what's
no.
good for the country, for all of us,
Do
yes,
you
I
do
will.
do you know what you're saying? Can you hear yourself?
I hear myself,
Okay,
but what I'm telling you is just
but
because he won't do one
hold on a minute,
particular thing.
Ty Jones, you're contradicting yourself, sir. You're all over the place. Let me get you focused because you're not focused right now. Let's get focused. All right. So let me ask you a question because you're not focused. You're here and you're there. Let's get in one place. Now, I specifically asked you a question. Uh, the initial question was, is there anything that Trump can do? Anything that Trump can do that can change your mind? You started with, if he says something against black people. Well, we've proven that he said a lot against black people. Then you went somewhere else and said, well, this is why he said it. Okay. So you gave an excuse to why he said it. All right. Now, my question to you, you voted for him for a reason, right?
Correct.
Now, did you not vote for him that he might make change?
Right. Make America great again.
Do you know what that means? Make America great again? Do you know what it means?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to go down that road. Okay. So if it's about making change, you voted because you believe that he's going to make change and he's going to make America great again. What does that look like for you? For you, a black man in America, how does that look for you? If he's going to bring change and make America great again, how does that look like for you being a black man in America?
Well, it looked like for me, I feel safe with the borders. I will feel safe with lower crime rates in the community. I will see higher learning with our students get graduating and furthering their education. And black people or all people that's in poverty to get out of
Sir,
poverty.
I said black people. I didn't say all people. We're talking about black people right now. We can get on the rest of the people.
Well, to get my
I
people
said
out of
you.
poverty.
I said you as a black man. I'm not talking about. I'm not. I love. I listen. I don't have a problem with my white counterparts. I really don't. I really don't have a problem with them, especially those freedom riders that support us. So I don't have a problem with them. I'm talking about you as a black man in America. How do you see things changing for the best under the Trump administration as a black man in America, sir?
Less crime and better education.
Okay, so let's go back his first 4 years. Let's talk about Trump's first 4 years. What did he do for the black community to answer all the things that you said needed to be answered the first 4 years he was president, sir?
Well, he helped continuation of the funding for HBCUs to where the presidents and deans don't have to travel to DC to get.
Okay, here we go with the HBCUs. Okay, we'll come back to that. The HBCUs, sir, do you know how much he contributed to the HBCUs?
Not enough.
Okay,
But he did.
So if he didn't give enough, then how did he help if he didn't give enough?
He helped for the simple fact that they didn't have to come to DC to ask for funding. It's automatically given to them now. It wasn't like that before.
So he made it better because he made it better because they didn't have to travel to DC to get the funding. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, they shouldn't have to come up there and ask and beg for funding.
How much did he give? How much did he contribute, sir?
I don't know the exact number of what it was, but
how much did Biden?
I believe Joe Biden did a better job of. Biden did a better job of putting more. I know he did a better job of putting more money into it.
Okay, so let's stop there. Okay, so let's stop there. Let's stop there. You voted because you wanted better, correct?
Correct.
And Biden did better than Trump did in the area of education with the HBCUs, correct?
As far as giving them more money, yes.
Okay, so he did better, correct?
Yes, I believe
Biden did better than Trump. Biden did better than Trump as regards to the HBCUs. It's a yes or no question. Is that correct?
No.
You said yes, and then you done flip back and said no, sir. Do you realize that?
Yeah, because you playing this game.
Oh. Okay.
Now I just sat there and said the specific of it was that they don't have to come up there and ask no more. They've been traveling up to DC all this time to beg for funding. Now they don't have to.
Okay. Mute for me. Let me explain something to everybody. I see you, Renee. Let me explain something. Mute for me, sir. Mute for me. Okay, let me explain something to you. I don't have a problem with giving individuals an opportunity to speak on why they supported or represented a particular party or person. I don't have a problem with that at all. I give them an opportunity to speak their truth, whatever truth it is. All I got to do is ask the questions and they shall be revealed. You shall hear exactly why we are where we are. Okay? And when you have certain individuals that have a certain mindset and mentality, that's why I tell people all the time that with certain individuals, it's the waste of your time to debate and go back and forth with people that will refuse to be honest and speak truth. Now, I'm not saying that this is Ty Jones, but what I am saying is this, is that in order for us to have change, true change, we got to pick and choose who we can have a conversation with that will be honest and truthful with their answers, or we can pick and choose to continue to debate and have arguments with people who are stuck. There are a lot of people in this country that are busy doing absolutely nothing. There are people that took a vote out of ignorance and not out of educating themselves to why they voted for who they voted for. And I'm not talking about Ty Jones, just making a point. So the reason why Ty Jones is speaking today, because I want people to hear it from him, not from me, of him telling you why he as a black man decided to vote for Trump. I'm not trying to embarrass him because I'm not the one that's talking for him. He can talk for himself and say exactly what he wants to say. But it's very disingenuous to get up on the panel and give me mixed soup of some truth and some falsehood, because that sounds like somebody else I know who will be taking the White House pretty soon here. There is something in the atmosphere that is being spread abroad, and people have tasted it and have been infected with it. And now we got little menus, little Trumps running around here, where they all sounded like him, unfortunately. And I want people to be able to be independent, to use their own brain and thoughts to know how to talk for themselves. But what I keep getting is the whispers and the voices of Trump. Little means, little mini me, mini me's, millions. And that's what's so disturbing and scary, in my opinion. But so be it. I'll let it ride like it is. Let me continue. Renee?
First, I'm going to address him when he's talking about education and how Trump is going to better it, and we're going to have black, BK people are going to have better education. Sir, I've worked in the public school system. My sister-in-law works at UC Berkeley. I have my brother's in education. I have a lot of family members who have gone to Morehouse. My nephew is at Kamala's former college right now. And if you want to speak about, what you said they gave more, but I'm gonna read you something. And this is from the whitehouse.gov. So that's a credible source as well. Okay. So for your information of when you start to research stuff, Biden-Harris administration announces $1.3 billion in additional funding and record of over $17 billion in total support for historically Black colleges and university. So when you talk about, I'm going to ask you this, sir. Have you ever worked in the school system? Have you?
No.
No. Okay. So I have. I said that. So with them wanting to cut the Department of Education, and I'm not going to get into all that because that would take hours, that it's not a good thing. Are our school systems perfect? Absolutely not. But is that the answer? Absolutely not. And I'm going to say this. So I also think that, AJ, when we talk about people doing their research, you can't just say, do your research. That doesn't work. So like I'm in school right now, and I'm currently having to write a couple papers. I have a friend who is getting her master's and is working on a thesis. Do you think that she can just go to Wikipedia and do some site sources in her thesis, and that would be acceptable? Do you think she can have site sources from Fox Entertainment? No, there are places that are credible sources. And I think that's the problem with people, is they're not looking at credible sources. So for instance, when I cite my sources and the papers that I'm currently writing, there's specific areas. You have to really check where your sources are coming from. Is there any funding behind it? Are they trying to sell you something? There's places you can go when you look on the website. You scroll down to the bottom. Sometimes it'll tell you this is not a credible source. So for people to just say, I'm doing my research, that means nothing if it's not credible. And that's kind of what I wanted to say on the topics that you guys were discussing.
Thank you, Renee. Let me go to Ed, and then, hey, Billy, I see you up there, and then I'm going to go to Billy. Ed?
I was going to say what Renee pretty much said, the funding. It started under Bush and it continued under Obama, and all the three presidents, all the four presidents, Trump has gave the less to HBCUs out of all the presidents. And I believe he gave only, around the number was $252 million to HBCUs during his 4 years.
Okay, thank you, Ed. Thank you for that info. I appreciate that. I think he's familiar with it. He did say that Biden did a better job as it relates to HBCUs funding. So he do agree with you guys that Biden did a better job. He just changed his answer when I asked him again, but he did agree at one point that Biden did a better job. I'm gonna go to Billy. Billy, welcome to AJ's Political Views. This your first time here?
Oh yes, it is, AJ.
Welcome, man. What's on your mind?
AJ, I wish that there was. I'm soon to be 59 years old come Thursday, and I grew up in Mississippi. I was educated at Alcorn State University. I'm at a loss for these black people who vote for Donald Trump. I'm just at a loss as to they can't be thinking facts because you can present facts to them, and it's almost like they don't want to. They don't. It's not they don't understand facts. They don't want to know the facts. They want to believe what they want to believe, and for BLK men and women to align themselves with a vile individual, and I mean a very vile individual like Donald Trump. What does that say about who you are as a human being, as a man or a woman, and especially as a black man and black woman? What do you ever ask yourself, what have my skin done to me? What have my skin color done to me? Because obviously you're not comfortable with who you are. Because you want to walk beside the very people that literally push you to the side, just like he did the Platinum Plan. If he was going to do anything with the Platinum Plan, if you were a priority, if you and I were a priority to Donald Trump, he would have made some moves toward the Platinum Plan. Now, you said he didn't have time in 4 years. Well, he certainly ain't going to be in the White House past 4 years this time. So what makes you think he's going to have time this time to implement it if he's going to do it? And I don't think he's interested in the Platinum Plan. He's not there to help you and me. We have moved into an oligarchic society where your oligarchs are running your government. Now, TJ, you'll put rich people in charge. You guys did this. You guys made cuts to Social Security. You guys are getting ready to destroy our country as we know it with your vote and with your mindsets. And I land my plane.
All right, let me thank you, Billy. Let me say something. What I try to do, mute for me, Billy, so you won't get an echo, because that was happening. Okay. What I try to do is that in order for us to want change, we have to address the issues that we don't want to address. And we have to talk to people like Ty Jones, who disagrees with some of our stance. But there's a difference in having an adult conversation and debating back and forth on a vote that was made, right? Because the vote is already out there. The vote has already been made, and we can't take that vote back. However, we can change the minds of individuals. But how do we change the minds of individuals? First of all, they got to be honest and truthful with us. As we seek to be honest and truthful with them, they can't make up excuses for a person when you prove them to be wrong and you bring it to the forefront and say, this is what it is and this is how it looks. And they continue to say, oh, no, that's not what it is. And then they agree and then they disagree. Some people are just stuck. Once you learn a person is stuck, you got to move on. And I've given Ty Jones every opportunity to be truthful, to be honest, to be real as it relates to the type of conversations that we're having, especially if we're going to talk about this past elections and the policies that are going to be implemented in this country that's going to change people's lives in ways that you can't even imagine. And I don't mean in a good way. Some folks get it and some folks don't. So I'm going to go back to Ty Jones at this time. Well, let me go to Roberto, because I think Roberto.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, how is he going to improve education for people while eliminating the Department of Education? That's really what I want to know.
Thank you, Roberto. That's a good question. So I'm going to go back to Ty Jones. He says that I don't give him an opportunity to speak, which I don't have a problem. I give everybody an opportunity to speak. But if you're saying some things that I need to follow up on or address, I do everybody that way. I don't just do people that support Trump that way. I do everybody that way. So I'm not a biased and a prejudiced person over here as regards to giving people their opportunity. So I definitely want to take that away from his vocabulary and his language, as he cited that that's how you people are. Y'all won't give us an opportunity to speak. Sir, I do everybody that way. I interrupt them when they're saying things. I cut them off. And in some cases, they have been dropped. And it doesn't matter to me who you're supporting. So I want to give clarity on that when you made that statement earlier. All right. So, Renee, I'm going to let you respond, and then I'm going back to Ty Jones, being that he's been the center of attention since he's been up on this panel. Go ahead.
I was just going to say he's probably talked more than anyone on the panel. So I think he just gets a little defensive, and then that's just like a mechanism. But anyway, and I wanted to add to kind of what Roberta was saying as well, is like, I don't know if Ty Jones is aware of what IEP means. And that's programs that are used to help, kids with disabilities. And so by getting rid of the Department of Education, that is going to go away. The IEP helps with assessments of children who may need special, other special programs. And I have a cousin who is disabled and uses IEP programs, so that's going to go away. So I don't need him to respond to me. I'm just putting it out there that by him supporting who he supported, those types of services that children desperately need, and especially in our communities, is going to be wiped out. So, yeah.
Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Renee. Okay, so Ty Jones, I'm going to give you an opportunity to say what you've heard everybody on the panel. You've heard the things that I've said, and I'm sure you read some of the comments in the chat. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to respond. But remember this, if you start spreading misinformation, I got to stop you, all right? If you don't have a source to back up what you're saying, I have to stop you. And I may interrupt you to get follow-up or ask you additional questions to the information that you're bringing. So I want to put that out there so you'll be aware. So now here's your opportunity to speak on whatever thing that you've heard individuals say. You can speak on it right now. Go ahead.
Thank you. I just want to say that I've been hearing everybody's responses, the comments, very mean, but I get it. But I want to talk about what led me to vote for Donald Trump. And it was more of me trying to find out where all this rhetoric was coming from about that he is a racist. And it started with the Charlottesville thing, with the tiki torches and stuff like that. And when he had said it was fine people on both sides, and it didn't sit well with me, because I never knew Donald Trump to be a racist. I knew that everybody, especially in my community, we always talked about Trump. He was, Trump was the guy. But I looked into it and seen that they actually cut footage of him saying that it was fine people on both sides, but didn't play it in its entirety of saying that he did denounce the white nationalists and the other hateful groups. And when he was saying there was 5 people on both sides, he was saying there was 5 people that wanted the statues to be up, and there was 5 people on the side that wanted to take them down. Okay, but he said that he is not talking about the white nationalists and the other crazy group. He totally denounced them, and they made him a racist at that point. And it didn't sit well with me. So then I had to go into the other stuff, like you said, the Central Park 5. Now,
All right. Okay, so let's stop there before you go to the next line. Do you care about your community, the Black young men and women? Do you care about them?
Of course.
Do you care about the unaliving of our young men and women in the community?
I hate it.
Are you concerned about officers having immunity as it relates to unaliving our young men and women in the community?
I have a little concerns, but
You have little concern?
Yeah.
So let me make sure I got this right. You have much concern for Trump than you have for your own people that possibly could be being unalive because officers have immunity. You have more concern for Trump than you do black people, young people in your community. Is that
No,
what
that's
you
not.
is
No,
that what you,
no,
is that what you're
that's
telling
not.
me?
That's not accurate.
Okay, you said little concern.
I love my people.
But yeah, but
Okay.
you said little concern.
Yeah, I have, because immunity is that. Let's be honest. The crimes that has been
Okay,
committed to
you don't have to go
young
there.
black children.
I'm gonna let you finish your other part, but I just want to ask you that question. So here you are defending and protecting Trump and saying that they have treated him so badly. You portraying him as a victim rather than a perpetrator, and you have so much to say to protect him and little to say about your own people.
No, I have a lot to say about my own people, but
Okay,
we
but
talking about Trump.
okay, but I'm just showing you how it sounds based on what you were just getting ready to do as you was giving all these reasons to why people have been so horrible towards Trump, because that's really how you were sounding as you was talking. You was making it seem like you were so concerned about how people are treating Trump. You know, the billionaire. You know, he is wealthy and rich. Probably got more money than you and I. You know that, right?
Yeah, but
But
I mean,
you're
can I?
concerned about him though. So let's go on. I just wanted to get that in. I needed to ask you that question. I see where you stand, so you don't have to continue. Go ahead and finish your defense of Trump, the billionaire. Go ahead and continue that. I understand your heart is in it, and I'm gonna let your heart speak. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so it made me dive deeper into what's going on. And the Democratic Party was
So you were
trying to
willing
make
to
it.
let me make. So you were willing to dive deeper to
Yeah,
defend Trump, but you're not willing to dive deeper as relates to
dive
getting
deep
information
to
about
get
your people.
information.
Yeah, but you're not willing to dive deeper to get
So as I
information.
as I
As,
looked, I found out that he actually
no.
funded
Maybe you
Jesse
missed.
Jackson presidential campaign.
Maybe you missed. Maybe you missed my question, sir. Because the guy has
Would a
wanted
racist do
it.
that?
Hold on a minute, sir. Hold on, sir. Hold on. I just want to follow up on what you just said because I know you feeling good right now. You just said that you wanted to dive deeper to defend Trump, but you didn't dive deeper to
No,
find
I
out.
said I want to dive deeper into research. You see, you putting that extra shit in for your narrative. I
Okay,
didn't say that. I didn't say that what you said.
okay, go ahead. You're smarter than I am. Go ahead. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
So, like I said, he funded Jesse Jackson presidential campaign. Now, I don't know if a racist would actually fund a black man millions of dollars for a presidential campaign.
Where did you get this from?
It's literally on the internet.
I mean, so you went to the internet and got this information?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Do you remember what website you got it from?
no. It's actually a video of
Oh,
Trump talking to the Rainbow Coalition and
okay.
with Jesse Jackson there, and they
That
speaking
that
about it.
was
You can look it up.
that was a deep research, wasn't it?
No, I'm not. I wasn't through. There's plenty of other stuff too as well.
No. I'm saying that was a deep research on what you just found. You say you went on the internet and
Yeah,
found it. That was a deep.
that was one that I found. That was one that I found.
That was one deep research. You did a deep research, is what you're telling me.
That was one that I found.
That was a deep research.
But answer that. Would a racist do that?
No, I'm just
Yes.
asking you. I'm just asking you. Is that a deep? You did a deep research. Is what I just answered the question. Was that a deep research? Is that your deep research?
And how about Jennifer Hudson?
Okay, so Jennifer, huh? What is Jennifer? Okay, okay. All
When
right.
Jennifer Hudson lost
All
her
right.
family in her house,
Hold on, Ty Jones.
he
Because
allowed.
Ty Jones. I know you deep. I know you're going deeper because you done brought Jennifer Hudson into the conversation. So you're really getting deeper here. Let me go to. Hold on a minute, because you're getting real deep. Now you mentioned Jennifer Hudson, so now you're throwing us off because she's a singer, she's in entertainment, she's a Hollywood star, and now you just mentioned her
She's
name.
black and she's a woman.
And what happened with Jennifer Hudson? Oh, this is really interesting. What happened to Jennifer Hudson?
Well, her family was in trouble, and Trump reached out and let them stay at Trump Towers rent free
No,
for 6
really?
months.
What? Are you
Yeah,
serious? What?
yeah.
He did that?
He did that, bruh.
No. I am so shocked. Where do you get that from? Where that info? This is my first time hearing that. Where do you
I'm pretty
get that
sure it
from?
is. I'm
Where
pretty
you
sure
get?
it is.
Yeah, you just bringing all that deep information. Where you get it from? Where do you get that from? I'm just curious.
It's all over the internet, man.
It's all no, not all over the internet. It's
Yeah,
all over the internet,
yeah, it's
and I
all over
don't
the
know
internet,
about
man.
it. And I don't know about it.
Yeah, because you just go through liberal talking points like you do.
Oh, but you don't go. So what about? So do you go through conservative talking points?
I certainly do.
And do you only go through conservative talking points?
No, I go to both.
And okay, so what you've learned is that Trump helped Jennifer Hudson's family, and they stayed in at his house while the family was going through. Now, do you know which family members you're talking about here? Are you
Uh,
talking about the ones that were unalived or the one that's still living?
The woman's still living.
And which one? And who are they?
Not sure. Just know it's Jennifer Hudson and her family.
Which Jennifer Hudson family you talking about? The ones that are living or the ones that are unalive? Or did you
I
know?
just told you.
Was it her mama? Was it her mama? Did he help her
Well,
mama?
he helped her. He helped Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah, but you said family. Did he help? You said her family. Which family are you talking about? Was it her mother?
What does it matter?
Sir, you brought this to the table, sir. If it's true, you said
He
you got
helped
all
a
the
black lady,
You
man.
say you educated. I'm trying to see how
Damn.
educated. I'm trying to see how educated you are. You said her family. So, sir, which family members are you talking about? Was it her mother, her brother, her aunt, her uncle? Who was it
I,
that he helped?
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know,
No, I just know it's family members and Jennifer Hudson.
but you went
Don't know
really.
which family member. Just
But
know
you
it's
went
family
deep.
member.
You know what? You went deep to get that. You went deep only to tell me that you don't know. Listen, how deep you went. Go ahead, sir. I'm just telling you said you do deep research, and that deep research has given me an answer of I don't know.
No, it gave you an answer of Jennifer Hudson staying at Trump Towers. That's what it
And
gave you.
now it's Jennifer Hudson that stayed at Temple. You said the family.
I said Jennifer Hudson and her family.
Okay. Boy, that
You
okay.
heard that I said that.
I don't even know where that come from, but go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Of course you don't.
Okay. Yeah, you're smarter than I am. Go ahead, sir. You're so
Nah,
smart.
probably
So
not.
educated. Got a degree in everything. Go ahead, sir.
No, you tripping. So the Central Park Five. Now, those boys were coerced to say that they were guilty. Okay? Trump didn't know that those boys was innocent. If any man touches a child or a woman inappropriately, harmfully, they should be under the jail. I don't care what happened to them. Okay? One thing you don't mess with is children and women.
Hey, Tyrone, how many guys like you are out there that are black men? Do y'all meet and gather every month in an apartment or a house? Are you a part of an organization or a committee?
No.
I mean, do y'all meet?
No, I'm not in a
Do you have
gang
friends?
or
Do you have a lot of guys, black men, that think like you think? Are y'all a group or something? Are y'all out here together? Do y'all unite? Are y'all an organization?
what? Do you have an organization?
No, I was just asking you. I'm just curious.
I'm curious too.
Okay, I just wondering. I was just asking that question because I just make us aware. If you ever decide to form an organization, would you come back and let us know the name of that organization so we can be aware and be aware of you guys when y'all show up?
Okay. But
when y'all
last thing I'm gonna
organize,
say,
because there's quite a few. It seems to be there's quite a. It seems like there's quite a few of you guys like that. I just want to make sure of y'all organizing out there. That's all, so we could be aware of what's going on in our.
Okay. Last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna yield back.
Jose, I have a question for him, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead, Billy, because I know you had your hand up. Go ahead, you can ask him. Because
you just talked about I want you to repeat that statement that you said. Anybody that does what to children, for kids,
harm children.
Okay. All right. I want you to hold on to your red hat here. Okay. You do know. I want you to go and I want you to just Google it. It's going to be the first thing to come up. I want you to Google court case 07673. That's in the United States District Court of Southern District of New York. All right. This is for your boy Trump and Epstein. All right. Complaints of rape, SA misconduct, criminal SA acts, SA abuse, forcible touching, assault. And this child was 13 years old, young man. I'm not going to read you the rest of it.
F1, everybody.
Okay.
All right.
So, I'm not going to read you the rest of it. Okay. But I want you to understand, you voted for someone that is a dark and vile individual, and he has, and he's going to hurt you and your family, my family, and everyone.
What are you simulating about that court case? What are you saying that Trump did that?
Oh God.
Well, he did mention Trump's name. Did you catch it?
And he also said Epstein.
Yeah,
it was Donald Trump.
Yeah, both of them.
You have hold on, Billy.
Hold on, Billy.
The Epstein file, the list.
Hold on. Ty Jones. He just gave you some information to research. That's all. He's not trying to debate with you.
Just go and look it up, man.
Yeah. Just give him some. Don't debate with him. He just giving you information for you to research, Ty Jones, because we realize that you're much smarter than we are, and we're just trying to help you with your smart brain and your educated thought with your degree on how important it is for someone as you to get the information that you need. And they're only sharing that information because you being the person you are and supporting the person that you support, because you're so smart. So
if y'all was so smart, you would know that what he just read was some bullshit.
Okay. All right. Is that new? Is that a new word you created in your vocabulary? That's something you say often?
No, it was.
What I want to say this,
Billy. We don't debate here, Billy. Just cool, Billy. Listen, Billy. He's smarter than you, Billy. Let him. He's the educated one here. Okay. Thank you, man. You so much entertaining. You really entertaining, Ty Jones. You really are. You very entertaining. And we have our guest, Ty Jones, who loves to debate and is so smart till he has outsmarted everybody on this panel, because he's given us very good answers that do not make sense for the most part. But when you don't know, you don't know. So we do want to thank him for joining us as our special guest today, and very entertaining. And I'm sure he's getting nickels and dimes and quarters on the side. But without further ado, I'm going to go back up to the panel. You hold on there, Ty Jones. You're so patient with us, and it feels so good to have you here to share your knowledge and your wisdom. Let me go up to Charlotte and give Charlotte an opportunity to speak, and then we'll see how long Ty Jones stays on the panel, because he's sharing so much of how smart he is. Charlotte, welcome to AJ's Political Views. You're part of the family, sis. How you feeling?
Feeling all right. I'm like Renee here. I have no words. No words. I'm not understanding Mr. Jones, but Mr. Ty Jones on this, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's got to be okay, right?
Yeah, because
Just
the
come
election
around.
is over.
Yeah, it's
and
only
what's
about
done
I know it's
is
hard. I know
done.
it's hard.
No, it's not. It's all right, Ty Jones, because like I said, you're entertaining. You keep entertaining us. Let me go up to. Thank you so much. Charlotte, thank you. I understand where you're coming from. I understand what everybody's saying on the panel. I think somebody wanted to say something. Was it Ed? I think it was Ed. Ed?
I just wanted to go back to the Central Park 5 situation. If he really meant by what he said, why hasn't he come back out in 2024 and said, I apologize for what I did for putting that article out? If he really meant that He really meant what he said in that Article 91 because he hasn't redacted from what that situation was. And it didn't start back in 91. This started back in 1973. It started in 1991. It started in 2012 and it's continued when he called African countries as whole countries. So this is a pattern. He hosted Nick Fuentes, who is a white supremacist, at Mar-a-Lago. This ain't just started. This is in him.
Thank you, Ed. Ty Jones, I'm back to you, man. I'm sure you have some answers to what you've heard so far because you always do. So go ahead.
I don't know why he didn't apologize. I would have liked for him to, but he didn't. But it's funny though because y'all bring up Trump's past, but the guy that y'all have in president right now has a past as
Okay, so
well.
let me address that. So let me talk about his past. Yes, we've heard before that Biden has called people N-words. We've heard that before. We've heard that he has implemented or passed various policies that were racist. We heard that before. So, sir, what
Y'all
other?
voted for that.
I know you're reading from the teleprompter. I know it's a teleprompter, and it's a script. Let's see, I can't even say. He's so smarter than me. I'm messing up my words. You reading from a script in a teleprompter. So I've heard it before. Thank you so much for sharing. We did all this through the election, and I'm not trying to do this again. So you go ahead and so you made your point. What else do you have to tell us with your educated self? Renee, hold on. We don't want to give him too much information, sis. I think we're coming at him too long. He is the guest today. Ty Jones need attention. We've given him attention. I want to make his day. Today is Sunday. It's a good time to do it. Give people the help and desire that they need. He's here for the purpose to speak power to our ears and to increase, our knowledge of knowing the truth about his daddy. But at the end of the day, that's his right to do that. Okay. And I'm going to let him speak because he has so much he wants to say to us as regards to Trump. So, Ty Jones, go ahead and continue. You have so much to say, and I want to give you an opportunity to continue if you want to continue down this conversation because you're sharing so much that we did not know, and you're educating us today. Continue to educate us, sir, and entertain us at the same time. We do not mind. Go ahead, Ty Jones.
Yeah, it's real funny of the hypocrisy of all of this. And it's like Trump did all this and do all that, but Biden did the same exact thing. And even worse.
You already told us.
Even worse.
I wrote your script for you, so you can move on to something else because I've already read it. Go ahead. I feel you. I feel your passion. Go ahead and continue to talk about your guy. We're listening.
No, I just feel that people need to give Trump a chance.
Yeah.
Because
all of y'all have been taught. You don't think? Hold on, Ty. You don't think we gave him a chance the first 4 years he ran for office?
No.
We didn't.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let me ask you this: are you in the Trump administration, or did he choose you for any office, or are you going to be working for him in any kind of way, in the government office or anything like that, as far as working for him? I'm just curious.
Did Biden appoint you a cabinet position?
No, sir. Biden is going to be leaving office, and then
he's still in office right now.
I'm asking you a question, sir. Are you going to be applying for any of the jobs?
You're asking me a silly question.
No, it's not a silly. You can.
It is a silly question.
You can't.
You already know the answer to the question.
Ty. You can work for government.
The answer.
Ty, you can work for government. You do know that, right? You can apply for one of the offices that he's going to make available for people like you. Ask Tim Scott and Byron McDonald's. Ask them. They was holding a position for him for quite some time until the election was over. They worked for him. So I'm sure there's something because you're doing a great job. In fact, you're doing just as good a job as Tim Scott and Byron McDonald's did during the election. In fact, you're doing a better job than they did. And they
Byron Donald.
Huh? Do you know Barrett? What's his name?
Byron Donald, not
Did you
McDonald.
do you know what a great job he did for Trump when he was running?
Yes, he did a good job.
He did a good job. And wouldn't you agree that Tim Scott did a great job too?
Yes, Tim Scott did a good
Okay,
job.
so look at the company I put you in. You are in the company of Tim Scott and Byron McDonald's, two individuals, one from Florida and one from North Carolina, two Southerners, black men, darker than any one of us. They black just like me, and they supported Trump just like you're supporting him, and they spoke on his behalf. And you're now I'm putting you on that level, brother. You should feel good about that.
Yeah.
Don't you feel good about that?
Yeah, but I
That's
do
what I
not
thought.
have a cabinet job or work for the federal government. No.
But you can. You know you can get a job doing that, right?
Yeah, I like the job I have now.
Okay, that's great. What kind of work you do? I'm just curious.
Chief engineer for a hotel.
Oh, you're a chief engineer. Oh, wow.
Correct.
Okay. I'm not going to ask you which hotel you're at, but let's talk about I'm going to make this brief because you've been educating us today. You've been sharing with us today all the knowledge that you have as regards to why you are sticking up and speaking up for Trump in the way that you do. And I'm not here to debunk that because the man has won already. Let's go back to the expectations that you have for Trump. Now, we've covered quite a few things as regards to that. Is there anything else that you have in mind as regards to the expectations that you looking for Trump to do as regards to why you voted for him? Go ahead.
My expectation is to prove all the hating Democrats wrong.
Okay. All right. So let me make sure I got this right. Because I thought I was speaking to an adult because that sounds like a teenage answer, but I'm gonna give you that. Maybe I need to rephrase that, and maybe it was a little bit too complicated. Well, first of all, before I do that, let me go. I got Roberto with his hands up. I got Renee with her hands up. Everybody got their hand up, and I'm trying to talk to this intelligent brother over here. Y'all just keep stopping me. I'm trying to get answers, but let me go to Roberto, and then I'm going to Renee. Roberto.
In 1988, Jesse Jackson ran for president. Donald Trump was a registered Reform Party member, and he didn't switch to Republican until 2009. So it benefited him to donate to his campaign. That's why he donated.
All right. Let me see if he understood what you were saying, Roberto. That's a lot. I
Thank
kind
you,
of got
Roberto.
because that was a lot of
I mean,
information.
he
That was
verified what I said was true and accurate. That's all.
Oh, okay. You agree with him?
Yeah, I mean, he funded Jesse Jackson's presidential campaign, like I said.
Oh, that's where you. Oh,
Because he wasn't a Republican.
Yeah.
No, he's been a Democrat for definitely all his life.
The Democrats contributed to Democrats.
And he did not finance the entire campaign, Ty. He donated to it. There's a
Exactly.
difference. He
I
didn't,
mean,
but
my
you
whole
said he
point was that
funded it.
a racist wouldn't do that.
Okay. Hold on a minute.
For
Let's talk.
business, they
Okay.
will. He
Okay.
is a businessman at the end of the day. Just like he helped Jennifer Hudson. That was a business move.
Okay.
What business deal he getting out of that?
Hold on a minute, y'all. Because he's educating us.
This
Educating.
man a billionaire. He talking about that was a
Hold
business.
on, Ty, because you've gotten so much information. You shared too much information. I can't even keep up with all the information that's coming from your mouth and your brain. If you
Man,
would just
keep up, man.
I know
Keep
it's
up.
hard, man, because you're smarter than I am. Just hold on a minute. So let me make sure I got you right because you just made the statement that a racist individual would not do good towards minorities. Is that what you're saying? That people that are racist would not do good towards minorities? Is that your stance?
Yes.
Okay, so if that be the case, Biden, and whom you said was racist, has done good for black people.
How?
Okay, so this is where I'm going to let the panel come in and tell you all the good things Biden has done as the racist person that you call him to be. what he has done. And let's not forget about, that's right, LBJ. Are you familiar with LBJ?
Big racist.
And he did what for black people?
Took the black man out the house.
What did he do for black people, sir, as it relates to signing, as it relates to the Civil Rights Bill, sir?
He destroyed the black family.
With the Civil Rights Bill?
With the Welfare Act.
With the Civil Rights Bill.
With the Welfare Act.
With the Civil Rights Bill. Are you familiar with the Civil Rights Bill?
Yes.
Do you know who signed it?
You just said his name.
Okay, so why can't we stay there? You said he's the big racist, but he did something good for us, did he not?
He had no choice but to do it.
Did he do something good for us or not?
Martin Luther King got that done.
Mute for me, Ty Jones. Mute for me. Mute for me. I suggest you put that book down that you've been reading. Let me go to somebody else. Who else I'm going to read? Because that book you're reading, it's got you all sideways. Don't put that book down, please. Put it down. Who I need to go to? I'm so lost. Renee, Renee. Let me go to Renee. Go ahead, Renee.
Yeah, it's actually really getting old because this individual just doesn't want to learn anything. He's not open to learning anything. And I really feel we're just wasting our time with him. He's just constantly doing talking points. I would suggest he maybe go back to college and take a class on his own history and learn about racism, where it came from, what it's about, and he can get the answer of, oh, Trump can't be a racist because he did certain things for black people. I think some education could really help him, but that's only providing it's around. I mean,
He's
I don't, we
46.
don't know,
He's
we don't
46.
know how the height, he's
He's
46.
He's
Yeah, I
46.
mean,
He's 46.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, but anyway, I just think it's sad. It's really just disheartening to listen to him. It's pathetic.
No, Renee,
It's
Renee, be
Isn't
kind,
that
be
a word?
kind.
Sorry, but
Renee,
is that?
Renee,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
Renee,
sorry. Sorry. I said sorry.
Renee,
I said
back
sorry.
up.
I
I
said
don't know
sorry.
Mute
you.
for me, Renee.
But
No,
you
no, no, no,
Mute for
disrespect me.
mute for
no,
me,
no, no.
Renee. Mute for me, because mute for me, Renee. Mute for me, because we're going to be kind to Ty Jones. Ty Jones is smarter than most of us on this panel. He has educated us today with sharing all the things that we did not know about Trump, and he continues to defend Trump, a black man in America, where don't have a problem with some oppressors that created colonization. He doesn't have a problem with that. He does not look at Trump's color. Trump is not YT in his eyes. Trump might be black. So we cannot continue to debate with a man that sees Trump more as black than YT, because it's not about color. It's about policy. And if he's not willing to embrace the truth, we cannot continue to give him the truth in which he's not willing to embrace. We must give him what he desires and wants and love. And that is that Trump is the best thing that ever happened to America. Don't y'all realize that?
Hey,
That was
hey,
100% accurate too.
Well,
hey,
I know, Ty
hey, G,
Jones. Yeah, Renee. I'm here for
I would
him.
like
I'm
to.
trying
I would
help
like
him.
to apologize really quick.
For what? Well, you don't need to
No,
apologize.
because
No,
you said
no.
you said you. Well, okay.
Yeah, you said what you said. Let it ride. Let it
Hold.
stay right there. Let it stay right
I'm
there.
just saying. To me, that's not a bad word. It's just kind of how I see something that is awful or kind of sad,
Well,
like a
I know, but he
situation.
just
That's all. It wasn't.
but he
My
I
tone
know,
was.
but
Go
he
ahead.
just agreed. He just agreed with everything that I said, so he understands. He gets
Okay.
it. He gets it, Renee.
Okay.
Thank you so much. You know what I'm saying. Yeah. Listen. You know what, Ty Jones? You have been. I told you when you got up here how entertaining you have been. You have really helped my live today. You've helped the panel today. You've helped the chat today. You have given us an opportunity to just think about how we've been thinking. I need to go in the mirror once this is over and look at myself and remind myself every day that there's something about being black ain't quite right, because I have an issue with a YT man that have done some racial things, but it's all accusations. And I've learned today from you, the guy that you are, that everything that I've thought, felt, and heard and seen has been nothing more than accusations. I'm the dumb one here. I want you to know that. That's how I feel right now. Thank you so much for educating me. You have been very entertaining. Is there anything you want to add to this panel? You've added so much. Is there anything else that you want to continue to add? Because I'm sure everybody's excited to hear more of what you got to say. You have said so much and made so much sense this morning. Go ahead. Anything else?
I just want to say, man, I appreciate for you bringing me up. I definitely know that you don't agree with me, but I really appreciate you took the time and let me express myself and how I feel about the situation. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah. And I thank you, and I thank you for appreciating the opportunity that I've given you to come up here and express yourself. And I suggest that you don't express that too many other panels in the future. Kind of keep some of it to yourself because you're sharing too much information, and some of it kind of goes south of west to east or north, and we get kind of confused on which direction you're going. You're a very smart man. Just get your pieces together because it's like a puzzle with a picture missing some pieces. And so don't worry about it. You will find your piece eventually. So what we're going to do right now
Host,
is
may I say something to you?
yes.
Ty has. This is my first time on your particular panel, but
Yes.
this is about the 10th panel that I've been on with Ty. Ty doesn't win any of them. He doesn't win any of them. The same thing that we were trying to teach him, the same facts that we were giving him today, I have witnessed him on other panels of other people who care and who's not trying to make him feel bad or not trying to demean him. They truly were there to try to educate him. He wasn't listening, and I'm serious. There's been about 10 panels that I've seen Ty on that I've been on with
What I
Ty.
want. Well, hold
So
on, Billy.
I don't think
Mute for me,
anything's going to
Tony.
help him.
Hold on, Billy. Mute for me, Tony. Mute for me, Billy. Let me explain something to
Okay.
everybody. Mute for me, Billy. One thing about it is that I've been doing this a very long time. I knew who Ty was before he knew who he was. And at the end of the day, I don't have a problem with having a conversation with someone that is kind of, doing their own thing. There's a reason why he goes from panel to panel. Some folks need attention, my brother. Some folks need to be lifted up. Some folks need to come out of the darkness and go to the light, however way they do that. And so I think that we've helped him. And if he's traveling from panel to panel, maybe he has a lot of time on his hand on weekends because he's not working and he's off and he needs to travel. And sometimes we get to travel on planes and buses, and we get to travel through other means of transportation. And other times we're just stuck in various areas of social media that gives us the energy that we need to live. And so I understand where Ty is coming from, and I thank you for sharing that. But I care too. But that does not mean I'm not going to uncover the truth of who Ty really is. And that's what I've done today. And that's why I've spoken the way I have spoken to him, because I know him. I know his type. Ed Harris said that. I like when she said that. I know his type. I've dealt with individuals like him. Harris said that too about Trump. So since I know his type, I deal with him accordingly. This has been a wonderful live so far. He's been very entertaining. I've learned so much from him. And so let him continue to travel from panel to panel that he might educate himself and become stronger in defending his daddy. So that's really all I have to say about it. And let me see, is there anything else Ty wants to say before we move on from Ty and go to someone else, who is Tony, who has just joined us. And we're going to let Ty, I'm going to let him have these not last remarks, because that sounds like he's being unallowed. I'm going to let him make his statement behind what I just said. And then we're going to move on from Ty, because he's done his job today. He's done his job. He has a job to do every single day, Billy. Nickels, dimes, and quarters. Keep that in mind the next time you think of Ty. Nickels, dimes, and quarters. People are getting side change to pay rent, light bill, gas, and all that other stuff, and buy food and stuff like that. I'm not saying that's Ty, but there's other people that does that. But anyway, Ty, before I'm going to go to you for this last time, and then I got to move on. Go ahead, sir.
I ain't got nothing else to say. Like I done said all I need to say.
Okay.
Like I said,
Thank you.
I appreciate you letting me
All right.
on your
Oh, no need. Thank you, Roberto. Tony.
Did he drop?
Oh, he don't have to drop at that point, sir. He needed to drop. We've had enough.
He didn't drop. I made
Uh,
sure he dropped.
We've had enough. We've dealt with this long enough.
okay. Well,
I did about 40. Listen, I did 45 minutes of this entertaining show, and it had gotten. It was
I was
interesting.
listening.
Yeah,
I
it was
was
interesting.
listening.
Yeah, we done with that. We only give them about 45 minutes to an hour, and if we do that, we're doing real good to give them that long. So he had an hour, but go ahead, sir.
Hey, I'm glad I wasn't on during that because I was crying. I said, "This guy is so naive, man."
I got you. I
Uh,
hear you, man. So what I'm going to do is that we're going to change this conversation. We're going back to how bad do we want to change, and I'm going to start with moving on from Trump. Q2, you can speak on what you've heard so far, and then we're going to move on from there. Go ahead, Q2.
Allow that type of person to continue to go to the lives and let them do their hour. Maybe they got to do 8 hours a day, like a job. Maybe that's their job. Like you said. Where they go there and spew their ignorance. Just like in World War II, when they talked about how gentlemen soldiers was running around with a tail on their behinds, to scare the European women and thinking that that's how black men were. So that is an example of a Sambo type of thinking, and I apologize that anyone had to be exposed to that or walk away believing that there may be some truths in that.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, Q2, sometimes we have to open the door for all people and let everybody speak from their place on what they believe in, and that's what I do from time to time. I entertain, and sometimes things are entertainment, sometimes things are serious, sometimes things are necessary. So today we're talking about how bad do we want change. Some of us want it, some of us don't. Some of us are absolutely busy doing nothing, like going from one panel to the next. That's somebody absolutely busy doing nothing. Let me welcome the person to the AJ's Political Views. How you doing?
Thank you for having me, AJ. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. What's on your mind?
Yeah, well, Ty kind of brought me brought me up, or made me request on. But one of the things that I wanted to point out was that, as far as Trump is concerned, if forget about his personal past. Even if you forget about that, and you just look at his previous administration, the court, Supreme Court justices he appointed, and he'll have an opportunity probably to appoint another two in these next 4 years. It's all been detrimental to the Black community, all of it. From undoing affirmative action to the extent that it did help us, to his, bearing down on schools, universities that teach critical race theory, the undoing of DEI programs and threatening businesses who have them with some form of retaliation, suggesting that YT students should get some form of reparations because they weren't admitted to the school of their choice. And make no mistake, when they talk about eliminating the Department of Education, does anyone here know how much the Department of Education contributes to Pell Grants that benefit students, our children?
Well, let me
Literally
ask you.
hundreds of millions of dollars.
Let me ask you a question, Abundant. This is my concern because, as I said here, how bad do we want change, right? Okay, so we know we have all this information about what they're going to do, what they have done. The question is, what are we going to do to prepare for what's coming down the pipe? How are we going to respond to that? Because the response matters more than what's happening. And what's going on is that many people are having these type of conversations and topics about what they're going to do. But the question is, what is our preparation? We got to figure out a way to still get the change that we desire without depending on a government that has failed us and an administration that seeks to break us. Where do we go from there? That is the answer that we need to try to come up with. How do we need to organize? What is it that our communities need to do? Because this ain't the first time our Black people have been here and faced with these type of things. I mean, it's all through history. America has never got away from racism and hate as people believe it has, because we keep dealing with this same thing over and over and over again, and it becomes a conversation and talking points, but nobody's willing to organize and work towards it. And so we got to start asking ourselves the questions. How bad do we want change? If we want it bad enough, it might take us to bring about the change. And what does that look like? And what does that mean? See, that's where I'm at. Because talking about the problem, talking about the problem ain't gonna get us nowhere.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. We need to start thinking about, community and how within our own communities we're going to organize what we need, whether it's medical professionals coming together and helping us, each other, legal professionals in those instances where that's needed, whatever it is, we have the resources within our own community, and we need to start organizing those resources in a cohesive way so that when it does come down, we're prepared for it. And I agree with you. We need to start having those conversations. What are we prepared to do?
We need to organize, and we need to do more than talk about organizing. We need to do it. Do it. Because people are known to talk for years about stuff and never get it done. And we got to get away from this ideal that it's got to be some type of organization that represents some type of deity before we can get anything done. Because that's another problem. We'll form a religious organization on any given time because it's all about grant money and government subsidy that a lot of people don't organize for the right reasons. What is it done to bring forth the change? We should have been doing this way before a second administration of Trump. Why is it that we have to always wait till our backs are pushed against the wall before we move on anything? But you see, most people about, if it's not my thing, if it's not what I'm doing, if it's somebody else, who can we trust? I don't know who that is. I don't know. But we give money away to people we don't know every day. We give money to strangers every single day. Even on this platform, people are giving money to strangers. But when it comes to doing something that's going to have a positive impact on community, people are very hesitant to get involved because of trust issues. We trust people going to give us a paycheck when we go do that job for a week. You know, you got to trust that person that you're going to receive that check after you've done that work. You got to trust that person. Do you know him? No. You don't know him, but you trust him. We got to learn how to trust one another. That's how we're going to be able to bring change. We got to learn how to trust one another. And because our young people are sleeping right now, they have no clue about what's about to happen. None. Because they're not educated in history. The schools didn't teach our sons and daughters history. And many of us didn't. So they have no clue about what's about to happen. In fact, some of them think we're reaching and we're assuming. And when we try to tell them, they're not listening to us because they don't believe it. And that's because they don't know their history. They don't even know who they are.
But AJ, that falls back on us, right? Because we have not taught them our true history. We've let them be educated in these schools and left it at that, as opposed to, getting them books that actually show the true history that we've gone through in this country. And I would just further say, and I'll then mute and listen, is that we have a blueprint, right? If we look back to the 60s, we have a blueprint in the form of the Black Panther Party and the programs that they put together, right? The educational programs, the medical health programs, the food banks and the soup, all of that. There's a blueprint that was successful until COINTELPRO. So we can do that again, and we need to be doing that again and thinking along those lines.
Thank you. And you made some valid points there, and I agree with you, but also we need to be silent. We need to move in silence. We make all these public announcements like I just did, but I didn't go into detail on what we discussed. But it ain't nothing illegal. It ain't nothing against the government. It ain't nothing like that. It's about looking out for our people in our communities. And then we had the question, well, what about the other side with freedom riders and those that support us? Everybody has a role to play. Everybody. But they have different types of roles. People that support communities and causes because they can get things done in areas where we can't. Doesn't mean they have to actually become a part of that movement, but they can support that movement because they believe in it. If a YT person believe that we should be treated as equal as they will support your movement because they want the same thing for you that they have. But we cannot shut the door on those individuals that are willing to support certain movements because they saying, I don't want to be in it. I just want to support it because I believe in your cause and I believe that you should have just as much rights as I have. So those people, we got to open up to those type of people that got those type of mindset, and they may not be black. We got to know how to do things. It's imperative that we open up our minds to get an understanding of what we need to do, how we need to do it, and when we need to do it. And we got to be consistent and be willing to sacrifice because it's going to take some sacrifices. What are you willing to sacrifice in any organization that you become a part of? Because that's what they did in the past. They made sacrifices. But you know what the problem is today? Nobody's willing to make any sacrifices. They complain. Enough of the complaining. What's the solution? But I'm not going to get stuck in that box waiting on a political party or a president or somebody that's on an administration to look out for my people when they haven't looked out for us in hundreds of years. And we keep getting the same old thing over and over and over. If we don't wake up, we're going to find ourselves in a bad situation, and we're not going to be able to get out of it. That we can have our own causes and do our own thing without even talking about the other individual and the other persons, because it's not about them at that point. It's about us. We already know who they are. We already know what they can do against us. We already know that the people with power today are hate groups. If you don't know, I'm telling you. The individuals that we just voted into office are hate groups. They represent racism and white superiority with a colonized religion. That's what they represent. And once you know who the enemy is, you don't tell the enemy what you're about to do. You prepare for the enemy. Not in the means of a fight or something that's going to cause harm to people, but you prepare your community in a way where it benefits your community. You take your money out of financial entities that's not going to protect you and your community. Get your money out of there. And you put your money in places that value your community and value your livelihood. That's what you do. You begin to support organizations, associations, and other things that support your community, and take your money and your support away from the entities that can care less about your community. That's how you do it. But you don't single out and say, oh, we're going to do this against this, and we're going to do... Stop naming them. Don't name them. That's what I mean, Tony, when I say shock factor. You don't tell them where you're going to hit. You just hit. If you say you're not going to shop at a place, you don't tell them, oh, by the way, we're not going to shop at XYZ. You don't tell them. You just do it. That's been the biggest mistake when it comes to what we do as a community. And that's why we always come out on the losing end.
Like you were saying, AJ, it's going to be up to us to look out for us. Because to be quite truthful, this country has never been for us. And nothing shows that more than the fact that this man did all that he did during his first administration, all that happened between his first and the November 5th election, and they put him back in office. And I said that they put him back in office. And when I say they, I'm not talking about those idiots that voted for him, right? Because any other candidate in the history of this country would have been undone years ago. But they allowed him to run again, and they put him back in office. So
Right.
be prepared.
There will be no more promotions and elevating BLK people. I don't care what their degrees are. I don't care what their education is. I don't care how hard they work for a company. That's why these companies wanted it, and they're getting what they wanted. That's why you're going to hear reverse racism more than you've ever heard before. Listen for it. Listen for it. Go ahead, Q2.
Yeah, that's very disheartening. I mean, they got a blank check on anything and everything they want to do. I when he was speaking, I was like, wow, this is so deja vu. You know, um, that's what I'm going through right here, right now, and I'm just like, wow. So but the difference is with me, is because it sounds like that young man has youth on his side, so he's not going to have to deal with ageism. But I'm confronted with now with ageism, with the same exact thing that he's going through, and to know that you're proficient in what it is that you do, and to know that even in your proficiency, they can find, like, they pull things out the air, and then you just look at them and just say, really? And then, and the end result is like, okay. And for me, it was just like, you know what, save your explanation. The explanation, no explanation is needed. I understand the assignment.
And they got you training the people that's going to take your role or your position. So it's a slap in the face.
It's
Train it
that
first.
part, and it's that part, and then, prior to, when I was preparing for my end of year review, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, 4 out of 5, okay, all right, and then, I'm looking up on the scale as to what that would mean, because I budget to, like, the government budget for the new year, and then to say, oh well, because this, that, and the third, there's going to be all halted because we don't know how, and their go-to line is this, because we don't know how the tariffs is going to affect our business, so we have to prepare for tariffs. So that's the out in terms of giving you raises and bonuses. It's worse than a slap. I feel like it's more like a spit in the face, to be honest with you, AJ. It's more
Yeah.
like a spit.
Yeah, most definitely. And so this is the reason why we as people got to organize. Like I tell people, we always talking about that there's billions and we spend billions of dollars in this country. But I tell folks that money don't mean nothing if it's not unified. If that money is not unified and focusing on a common cause and purpose, it doesn't mean nothing. And then we got to, and again, I say this, I can't stress this enough. We got to stop building organizations on this ideal of blackness to the degree where everything got to be black, black, black when we're not doing anything. We show them by our actions, not by the color of our skin. It doesn't matter. It doesn't get us anywhere. It just sounds good. That's all it is. It sounds good, but it doesn't get us anywhere. The civil rights movement, even though it was geared towards helping black communities, the organizations that they formed were open to whosoever would help the organization. Whether they contribute in some cases and became members in other cases. That's why I stopped DJ, because I know he was speaking from a place of anger, and I stopped him when he started calling out names. Because what that does, that may shut the door on people that might want to help and may not want to be a part of what you're doing, but they just want to contribute. Whether it be financially, whether it be by word of mouth, vocally. We are 13% and possibly more of this country, but we don't have the power, and we need to stop pretending like we got so much power. Because if we had all that power, we wouldn't be having these type of conversations every so many generations. Seriously. We claim stuff that we don't have. And we got our own people that pimp us out of money. Let's not get it twisted. We're in the shape that we're in because not only we got YT people against us, we got our own people that are pimping us every single day out of our money and doing absolutely nothing for our communities. And our bodies have become a commodity because the only time some folks show up is when we've been unalived in the street. And then it got to be the unalived by either a YT person or an officer. That's the only time they'll show up and speak loud. Where is the preventive actions to stop us from being unalived in the street? Where are those powerful attorneys then? Where are those great powerful activists then? Whether you be Pan-African or Israelite or Black Panther or the Black Madonna, where are you? Since it's all about black. I know there's a lot of conspiracies and hypotheticals out there as regards to this election and what happened. But if we can reach for the possible, if we can reach for the impossible to become the possible, why we can do that with everything else but our communities? Why can't we believe that about our power and the abilities that we have? We always put our energy in other areas and we have hope in other people, but we doubt what we can do as a unified people. We debate it, we argue about it, we find excuses why not to support it, we distrust one another, but yet we complain. Just like a person complaining about being unemployed, but they refuse to work at a particular job because they don't pay enough. Well, I want you to weigh your options. Is some money better than no money? So it doesn't make sense if you're staying home making absolutely nothing when you can get something to keep you until you can get what you want. That's what I've always told my sons, I've always told them that every time you lose a job, you set yourself back and become picky and choosy about where you work, you end up with nothing. All you got to do is keep your vision and your dream alive that eventually you're going to get what you want. But how much are you willing to sacrifice to get there? But if you stay at home and do absolutely nothing, that's not going to stop the rent from being due. That's not going to stop the light bill from being due. That's not going to stop the fact that you need to sit down at the table and eat. That's not going to stop the fact that you need hygiene products and clothing because you decided not to work for this particular job. You got to do something until you can do better. That's the way you got to think. Unfortunately, a lot of folks don't think that way. Something is better than nothing on any given day. And if all we do is talk with no action nor sacrifice, we're just busy doing nothing. Yeah, Roberto.
She's not on my side. She must be on your side.
Okay, let me see. Okay, she's on my side. I got her. Thank you, Roberto.
Whatever I have to talk to you about is not that important.
Hello, Kim.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good, doing good.
How was everybody on the panel?
Doing good. Do you have your TV on?
Oh, wait a minute.
Don't come in here, I'm getting dressed.
I'm back. The question I had was the young lady 2 doors down from where I live. We used to see the young man riding around on the bike, and I'm not a person that like pew-pews around me or in the house. Why is this young man saying he's going to get him some guns to come and unlive
say pew pew?
Yeah, in people and their children. What is it that we can do about that? Because that's we never had that in this neighborhood I'm in. This neighborhood is mixed.
That's a threat. You can call the cops.
Hold on a minute, Roberto. Hold on, Roberto. Let me make sure I got clarity on what, because we're not even safe calling the officers these days. let me say this. Hold on a minute. Mute for me, Kim. Let me address that. Let me address
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Now, I am not one to, give, that kind of advice. I'm not an officer. I'm not a person of legal. I'm not an attorney or anything like that. But I'm going to address it the best way I know how today, right? If you have a young man that's riding around on a bicycle making various types of threats like that, the question is, number one is why? Number two is this young man stable? Is he stable mentally and emotionally? Um, did this young man come from the community? Do they live within the community? So before I can answer that question, let's see if we can get some answers to the things that I've just asked. Okay, so you say he does live in the community. All right, so is he somebody that you know about? That you know his family, you know his kinship? Do you know his people? So you don't know his people. So you say stay 2 doors down from you. Have you attempted to talk to his family as regards to the things that he's saying? You can answer that in the chat if you like. Have you attempted to have any type of contact with his mother, his dad, or other family members? All right. So Kim, unmute for a minute, if you would.
Hello.
Yeah. So have you ever? Does he live with his parents?
I don't know where he live at. I just know we always see him riding around on the bicycle, and he riding on his bicycle, and then he goes over to the Dollar Tree. But the lady that came down and told us about it, she's another black family that lives 2 doors from me, and
All right. So you're dealing with. So what you're dealing with is gossip,
and
and
so, yeah, because it's like, why would he say that much as he been riding around and,
okay.
nobody,
All right.
nobody never spoke to him, but he always ride around on the bicycle. So when he said that, I don't know what happened from there, but I know lately I haven't been seeing him.
All right. All right. Okay. So mute for me. Mute for me. Because we hear you back. Mute for me. Mute for me, Kim. All right, Kim. I'm gonna tell you this. Don't get caught up in. Don't allow anybody to bring you gossip without concrete facts. Okay. Don't allow anybody to create fear in your home and in your mind as regards to what's happening in your community. Somebody came to you and said that this person said that, but you didn't hear this person say it on their own. I wouldn't take part of that. Don't allow anybody to bring you information like that, okay? Because that only create anxiety and fear that you don't even have to have. Because if that person never said it to you, you wouldn't have known, and you just would have seen another guy just riding through a block on his bicycle. That's all it would have been. It would have been just a guy riding on his bicycle through the block. But because somebody came to you and said that this person said something, when you don't have all the facts of the story, it just puts you in a situation where now you feeling afraid, and you probably be feeling afraid about absolutely nothing. If you did not hear him say that out of his mouth, you cannot take it by word of mouth. Somebody, because they could have a problem with this guy. They may not like him for whatever reason and trying to create chaos within the community to cause a problem. Because what if an officer show up and unalive that young man and he never said what somebody told you that he said? This is what happens. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it right there. Abundant. Are you trying to address what she said, or you was going somewhere else?
I was gonna address what she said.
Okay, go ahead and address that, and then I'll go back to Tony.
So I agree with AJ's advice in terms of, if you didn't hear it yourself, then you really can't stand on it. But what I might suggest is to advise the individual or individuals who have heard it, and rather than call the police, go to the station and try to have a conversation with somebody at the station. I'm not a fan of calling police to my home. I don't advise that to any of us unless we are familiar with them. And even in those instances, that could be problematic. But let that person who actually heard it go to the station, tell them about it, make a record of it, make sure they make a record of it so that in case something happens, they are, they've been put on notice, and they might could do something about it before, God forbid, anything happens.
That's great advice, Abundant. Thank you so much. That was good advice to her. Thank you. Tony?
Yes. Well, I concur with people when it comes to hearsay. Like I tell people when they come to me, oh, such and such say this about you. I said, so? They be like, well, it ain't bother you? I said, no, that's their mouth. They can say whatever they want. I said, my problem is only when you come put your hands on my person. Then I have to respond. But I said, words is, you can say whatever you want to say. I said, don't faze me. Not one bit. You people need to know that what kind of rights you got that they're trying to take.
Well, that is changing. That's one of the things that are changing where people don't understand. They are coming after the EEOC. They're going to make changes with the EEOC, Equal Rights Employment Association. They are going to make changes in, I just told y'all they're talking about reverse racism now. Everything's about reverse racism. In other words, YT people rights. They are saying now that all the help that black people have gotten in this country has been racism against YT people. That's the new argument now. Forget, the fact that we worked, our ancestors worked these lands for free for very long. Forget the Second World War when they was getting housing and subsidy and getting subdivisions built just for them. Do you not know that projects were not for black people? That when they built projects, that was not originally built for us. That was for single YT women that lost their husbands and come back, and women of soldiers that eventually came back home. But that was a step up for YT women because most of them did not work. Most of them were housewives. And so they built projects, which they didn't change the name to projects until black folks started moving in them. And when we start moving in them, they start calling them projects. Okay? But initially, they were not built for us. So the very ones that are talking about reverse racism have always had a hand up over us from the beginning of time. From the beginning of this of this country, they've always had an upper hand. But yet they're crying foul. Where's the foul? When and where did it happen? You start looking at the numbers of the income difference between YT people and black folks, you'll find that our income is nowhere near theirs, and our communities look nowhere how their communities look, but yet they're crying foul because they have a few that didn't come up, live in a trailer park and struggling with a Confederate flag hanging outside the door, and now they're crying foul. But we're not going to talk about strange fruit throughout this country. That continues to happen up until this day. But they're crying foul. So that's why I say it's very important that we think differently and we move differently in the United States of America, because we're headed in a direction of uncertain territory. I am doing it outside of political views. You can either be a part of what I got going on or you can create your own. That don't matter to me. I know we got to do something. Whatever you decide you want to do, we got to do something. And we got to support each other in what we're doing. You see what I'm saying? So anybody that's interested in what we're trying to do, please send your email to Roberto, and he will forward the email to the right people so you can make the next meeting that we have as regards to what AJ's political views is seeking to do. Now, if you got something that you're trying to do and something you want to do, then make us aware of it. Because networking is great. Networking is important as well. But let's deal with the trust issue. Why do you think that our community has so many problems in the area of trust, and what do we need to do to fix that problem? I'm talking to Abundantly now.
I think that's a very good question. I think a lot of it stems from the fact of history, right? We know that we have dealt with circumstances where we have come together, we have tried to organize, and we've been attacked from without, from outside, and from forces within, whether those forces were planted by that outside force, or whether it was just jealousy and ego and power grab or what have you. But, I think historically speaking, there is evidence for and reason for us to distrust not only the powers that be, but those who might come, and that's why the vetting point that I alluded to earlier is so important. The only other thing that I would say is that, as we have these conversations, and I understand Zoom is important,
Wait, hold on, Abundant. I do want to follow up on some things that you just made. What about the trust that we don't have within amongst ourselves? Not only the trust about others, but what about the trust we don't have amongst ourselves?
Well, right. I mean, because we there are people who are willing to undermine. There are people who look. Well, not all skin folk are kinfolk, right? That we all know that saying, and
Right.
and sadly, there are people, like you said earlier, that have adopted a colonized mindset and who will go a step further and infiltrate organizations that are made to help us in order to undermine those organizations because they are part of that colonized mindset, or because they're willing to, get that money, get that bag, and essentially be a Judas. And, the only way to counteract that is by vetting, thorough vetting. I go back to that because we've seen it happen too many times. And I think that's part of the reason why there is distrust. And there's also, like I said earlier, the fact that so many people, regardless of what their skin color is, are just out for themselves. And if they can make a buck, if they can, gain favor with somebody who's powerful or to gain power, they're going to do it. And that's why vetting is so important.
I definitely agree with you. What does vetting look like? What type of process?
I would do a thorough background check. And I don't say that like funny, haha. I'm being serious. I would have a person's resume. I would have people who are adept at doing background checks, making sure that that resume is what it is, says what it says, and that it's all true. I would want to see a history of dedication to our rights, our movement, our people, our community. In terms of their work history, in terms of their volunteering history. And I would want to verify all of that before me personally, I would have somebody come into the fold. I would want to see a proven track record.
Okay, so now you're talking about more professionals that get involved. Is that what you're speaking from a place of professionals, right?
No, I'm talking about whether you're professional or not. I mean,
so wouldn't that be viewed as somewhat discriminatory type of practices if you're trying to be open to the community itself? The community represents diversity and many challenges in people's lives. So no telling what might come up in their background check, and then wouldn't that alone cause people to distrust a process if they're really seeking to get information regarding their background? You think people would be open to joining an organization that desire to check their background?
I'm talking about a background check in terms of proven dedication to the community. I'm not talking about, I don't care if you have, a record. I don't care. if you have
You're talking
shown,
about political. You're talking about political views. You're talking about checking their background as regards to what they think political, how they think politically, how they think policy wise, how they think about the government, how they feel about community, and different things like that. Is that what you're saying?
exactly,
Okay, I got you. All right. I had to
exactly.
clarify that because when you said background check, I said, okay, what direction we going here?
Right,
So I
no,
had
no,
to,
no, right, right.
yeah, yeah.
I get you. No, no, no. I'm talking about, and preferably, that person has more than just views. They have a proven track record of actually having done community service, done work to foster and elevate us, one another, as opposed to just somebody who comes in and says, "Oh, I want to be a part." Okay, well, you want to be a part of it. Let me still vet you to the extent that I can, right? And then I'm going to be a little guarded with people who don't have that uh, demonstrated dedication and involvement. That's all.
Okay. All right. I got you now. So let everybody know what abundance was talking about. He's not talking about doing a hard background check where he needs your social security number and he needs
Right.
to find out what's going on with your finances and all that. That's not what he means. What he's talking about is where you sit down with individuals, you have conversations with people, you interview people, you ask them questions and see how they respond to answering the questions and if they're willing to answer those questions as regards to their policy stance, as regards to their community service, as regards to the things that matters to the association or organization itself. Okay, that's what he's talking about. So he's not talking about give me your social security number so I can check your background.
No,
That's
no,
not what
no.
it means. And I just want to put that out there because people pick up on things in many different ways, and I just want to throw that out there. So that's not what he means. I hope everybody follow us now on that. I think that is that the only question I asked you. What did I think I had another question. I don't know if you answered it. Um, what are your thoughts? And I'm gonna go to everybody else, but what are your thoughts on me saying that we need to get away from this whole ideal of black, black, black thing? What are your thoughts based on the way I said it? What are your thoughts on that, and how do you view that?
Well, again, I go back to the vetting idea, right? And we look, the history of our movements is fraught with uh, deception, with betrayal, and we have to be extraordinarily careful when we allow anybody in, but especially when we're talking about, you know, uh, let's say people from outside groups. I wouldn't say that you exclude them entirely, like you said earlier. Everybody has a place, and it's like security clearance, right? In the government, you might have a certain level of security clearance, but it might not be as high as, and you might not be involved in certain conversations, certain strategic, what have you. But you know, you can help, but I'm still going to want to know who you are. You're still going to have to show me who you are and what you've done in the past.
Right, right. Thank you, Abundance. You've answered those questions quite well, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to go to Roberto, then I'm going back to Charlotte, and then I'm going to Tony. Roberto?
Yeah, I was just wondering, how does Trump get security clearance? How is that possible?
The way the government is functioning right now, Roberto, I don't think we have an answer to every question, man.
I know, I'm just thinking, how can a guy that steals documents get clearance?
Listen, Roberto, I feel you, man. I'm there with you, but I got to focus on something else. So we're trying to think outside of that box because I'm telling you, man, if we keep focusing on all this guy has gotten away with, we will find ourselves stressed and walking in anxiety every day that we live. We got to change our mindset and have an alternative. We got to think differently because this is where they want us. They want us stuck on Trump.
You're right.
It's okay to be concerned, my brother. We all are. That's why we need to organize. We gotta put our words to action. Complaining about this administration that's coming into office is not going to fix anything. That's what we need to understand. Do you know people are walking around here bragging about, oh, he only gonna be in there for 2 years? Do you not know what this guy can do in 2 years? Do you not know?
A lot.
So why are we sitting back talking about, man, we just need to prepare for the next election coming up? No, we don't. We need to prepare now. And we need to prepare our communities for what's gonna happen. Okay? Because sitting back and waiting for the next election, here we go with these hypotheticals and expectations, and then we're gonna get disappointed again because we feel like the Democrats are gonna whoop them the next time.
Who knows if there's even going to be a fair election in 2 years?
But see, that's my whole point, Roberto. That's my whole point. That is my whole point. We, as the people of America, hear me good. We, the people, we have options. This is the option. We got a petition going around that says defend and protect the Constitution. We're looking for 1 million signatures. Okay? That petition is going around on change.org right now. That's one way. The another way is to organize. Another way is to start withdrawing your money and your funds from certain type of businesses and certain type of financial entities that does not support your community. That's what we need to do. All this complaining and worrying and stressing on what Trump's gonna do, what he's not gonna do, what bills he's gonna pass, what bills he's not gonna pass. We've already had that conversation. We've been there, done that. We've been there, done that. Now we need to prepare. And those that don't get it, and they've gotten caught up with the mega virus, the alleged mega virus, and this idea that they love him and he's going to do that, let them stay on that train. You get on a different train and ride that train to success. Let them take that train that leads to crashing. Don't be a part of that train now. You got to take a different route. A different route. And wasting time debating about what this guy is going to do when you know what he's going to do does not help us at all. And if you want to be a part of what we're trying to do, send your email. Send it to Roberto, Sandy, or Barbara, or Miranda. Whichever mod that you see, send it to them, and they will forward the email to the right people. That's what we need to do. That's where I'm at. I'm there. Okay? So let me go back to, I'm going to go to Charlotte, then Tony. Charlotte?
Okay, yes, AJ, I have to agree with you. I guess I'm kind of like Roberto. I'm kind of a worrywart too. So I'm just glad that you got pretty much everything set up for us. All we have to do is just join in and do what we need to do to get through.
Thank you, Charlotte. You're right on it. That's it. That's what we got to do. Because it's about survival now. We got to take notes from our ancestors. The map is out there. The plan is out there. We got to start listening to the ancestors, man. And stop listening to what's before us, listening to Trump and what he's saying he's going to do. And we need to listen to our ancestors because we're in that place right now. We're in that place.
This was a great live. Sorry, I dropped down earlier because my phone died. But anyway, I had to recharge it. But no, great live, always. And I did want to say this. My cousin shared with me this, I don't know what you call it. Anyway, it had the list of all the people that he's been appointing and how much money they make. And like in the billions. We all know this, but when you see the list and you just see the no diversity, it's telling. I mean, but we already know this. But anyway, great live.
That's what you call Putin. Okay? Think about who's around him. All right?
Yeah.
Billionaires. That's what dictators do. That's what dictators do.
That's right.
So
and one other thing, AJ, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
And so yeah, it's like when we had that earlier caller, like, and yeah, that earlier guest who supported him. It's like I don't grasp that how they can't see all this stuff and realize that they really just don't have our best interest at heart. Period.
Nickels, dimes, and quarters. There's a check. A check, Renee. You hear me? That's
Yeah, but are you
Yeah.
not all of them though? I'm like some of them I think really believe that way.
Yeah, but if this
Okay.
person been on 10 panels,
Yeah.
okay, if they traveling through 10 panels and they got the same thing that they're saying in every panel, that's a script. That's a teleprompter. That's nickels, dimes, and quarters. That's money, probably per month or quarterly. That's what that is.
Okay, I got you. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, that's why they do what they do. Is they're getting paid
All
for it.
right.
You know,
Okay.
rent is due. Rent is due.
Right, thanks.
People rent is due. They're due. Hey,
Yeah.
listen, you ever heard them kickbacks? You remember when people used to have clubs in their house to pay their rent?
Oh yeah. But the funny thing too, he didn't even recognize your sarcasm, which was funny. But anyway, he did not
Hey,
recognize your sarcasm.
but that's why I told you. That's why it is what it is. If he didn't recognize what I was saying and he going through 10 panels, he trying to get his rent paid.
Yeah. Oh my God. Thanks, AJ.
All right, sis. Hey, listen, everybody. I got to do what I always do. I got to get out of here. Let me do a few shout outs. Thank you, Roberto. Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, V. Who else I'm going to give thanks to? Thanks to each and every one of you. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, my guests. Thank you, Abundance. Thank you so much. Thank you all for taking part with AJ's Political Views. Sensei, John, Tony, Virgo, beautiful Virgo. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. It's time for me to get out of here. Veronica, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for taking time out your day to spend it over with AJ's Political Views. I will see you guys tomorrow. Later.